but I'm not quite sure what's going on. Either he can't turn the car, or he's having to try and... He's running it along the barriers. Now he's got it off the grass, but whether or not he's damaged the steering, it doesn't look as though that's the case. He's got it back going again. I'm not sure if our RDTV can tell us exactly who else was involved in the incidents, because it seems to me at least he has damaged the steering in some way, because that car's not running. That car's not running smoothly. Because I've just been told it was THR and several others.
I thought it was just a track error then, but I just found out that he's actually been involved with some others, and it turns out it may be a connection problem or such.
Well, if we can find out who exactly the others are, in terms of who it was that he was involved with, we can get to the bottom of what exactly's happened here, because that's as if THR's weekend wasn't going smoothly enough. Now that certainly hasn't helped things one bit, because they really are struggling at the moment. And it would surprise, at least you see Lee, now he's on the grass now at the final corner. You can see he's trying to keep offline as best as he can. As there goes Marcus Browick, and now Lee sprints for the pits, which in fact he does make.
I'm finally this time, because the last lap when he lost the front wing, you might not know this, but when he went,
I did see this.
Because he lost his front wing the previous lap, and I thought it was just a track error, and I thought he was going to come into the pits, but unfortunately he didn't come into the pits, and unfortunately that's just blown their weekend.
It looks as though he's got suspension damage and also a puncture as well, because I can see that the car's leaning. The car's sat down on its left front. So I think there's definite damage to a punctured tyre and the suspension as well. So that is a rather bitter blow. Of course, Toby Davis and Chris Butcher yet to get into that car. And Chris was saying, of course, earlier on that he wanted to try and get some luck, but unfortunately, it seems that Lucky's not smiling on THR today, at least not in the Race Department Le Mans series. And I'm not 100% sure how long that Peugeot is going to be in there for the pits. It's certainly going to be quite a long stop, so I have to keep track of that one. They are currently sat on in the classification. If I look on the live timing when it updates, they're currently sat. Well, they're dropped to 12th because the LSD Racing P2 car has now jumped into 11th, so it's down to 12th now. And the next car that's going to come through, in fact, they've actually just done a driver change. They've taken this time to change over to Chris Butcher. So Butcher's now in that car, and Chris Butcher is extremely fast sim racer in his own right. So I'm pretty sure that if anyone can get the max amount of that Peugeot right now, it's up to almost 100% strength.
Scott, I'm sorry to stop you there, but though we have reached the end of part 1. Please do join us in part 2. Just refresh it on the Race Department, or if you're watching on YouTube, just wait for the signal to go to the next live stream. So we'll see you in about a couple of minutes, and hopefully to see you on the other side. Sorry, Scott. I was told by Race Department that it's time. Hello guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Race Department Le Mans Series Round 3 here at Road America. I'm on square here with Scott Woodward, just going through to the first third of the race. And the standings currently look like this. Rene Hoogstrup is leading for SRVN in the P1 category. Then it is Marcus Bruch. Then it is Patrick Sawaski in third. Rafa Budstis in fourth. Tibu Toika is in fifth. David Horath in sixth. Seventh is Balsals Kiss. Eighth is Johnny Botsier. Ninth is Matt Strand. And rounding at the top 10 is Eddie Hallgreen. Then it is Stephen Pubbles. Then it is Chris Butcher. Ken Hunter is behind him. And then we got Carl Middleton, who's just returned after that stop earlier. Then we got Christian Fedge in 15th. Ross Zondak is 16th. Solhak is 17th. With Nebiak in 18th. Blocker in 19th. Then we got Offmans in 20th. Zahovic is 21st. Donna in 22nd. Then we got Iscliffe 23rd. And 24th is Van Sturen, and it is Walsh, Pole, Martins, and Mayfield who just finishes off the field there. So let's just get on with the race then, shall we?
Absolutely. Right, so just continuing on from what I was saying before we switched over to part 2 about the THR machine. The THR Purge has had quite a few dramas in recent times and recent laps, and it's currently now sat looking in the standings at the moment in 12th overall and 6th in P1. In fact, it's last in P1 at the moment, because the satellite racing car currently sat in 9th overall and 5th is now currently ahead of it, and it's ahead of it by a rather sizable 3 laps. Now, the THR machine is actually 9 laps off the lead. Now, at the moment, I don't believe. Now, at this moment, I don't believe that the THR car has enough pace to claw back 9 laps off the leaders, because I think that's just a bit too much out of its reach. You never know, because of course, still a long race to go, so anything could potentially happen. But Butcher now is speeding along. Chris Butcher, I know that he's a very fast, very capable sim racer in himself, and he does a lot of touring car racing before, online touring car racing before that. He did a lot of racing in single seaters, and I think I remember talking to him a while back, and he was saying that he was something along the lines that he wanted to try and get a little bit better at endurance racing. But he certainly does seem to be getting the grasp of these things, and as we said, the LMP1 cars tend to be a lot more like single seaters, more and more like single seaters, but just with wheel covers, or with like enclosed wheels. And that is very true, because they've got, even the Peugeot 908. If you look on board, it does have an F1 style steering wheel with all the switches and dials and the rev counter and the paddle shifts and everything on it. So LMP1 prototypes and LMP2 prototypes, for that matter, are more and more getting like single seaters. Of course, I know nowadays that the LMP1 cars, or the prototype cars they currently have at the moment, currently run the kind of the the fins on the aerodynamic fins on the back for aerodynamic stability, especially from crosswinds and things like that, which are kind of minor details. But I think Butcher now, he's coming up to, I think this is now, I'm not sure if this is for position. That is Carl Middleton, and no, that's not for position. That's to lap him, because the car that Carl Middleton's driving, the UKNL LMP2 car, which looks like he's actually back in the race. I thought we'd seen him last of that one, but thought after the incident. But Carl is back in the race, but he's 4 laps down now on Chris Butcher, who is now trying to surge his way back through the field. Now the next car he's coming up to try and pass is going to be, as I said, the LSD racing car, which has been driven by Stephen Pubols, and he's currently lapping some 7 seconds quicker. So the gap is 12 seconds. So both in, I would expect Chris to pass in the next couple of laps or so, which is definitely going to be a possibility. He's getting caught up behind one of the Corvettes there, but he managed to get through without any too much trouble. There's a little bit of a lock-up, and you can see how hard Chris is pushing, kicking up the dust on the exit of the kink there. Now rounds left-hander towards the carousel. Just looking at the track map that I have, it just remind me of the corner names that I've got on this one. So he's just headed through turn 8, 9, now he turns 9 and 10. It actually classifies it apparently on the map here as 2 corners, and he goes through turn 11, which is the kink. Very fast right-hander here, which you take flat out on these LMP1 cars. Down what's called Kettle Bottoms, that's just what it's called on the circuit, and now down to Canada Corner, which is a very tight right-hander. Then you make this little short squirt, this little short kink here called Thunder Valley, and into a left-hander, which is now called Bill Mitchell Bend, and then into the final corner, which will take you onto the Road America Straight. And as he heads up the hill, very steep climb as you get underneath the Race Department banner. And lap time this time around for Butcher, as I see it on the live timing, flashes up as a 1:47.971, and that was actually a full 10 seconds. No, 1:48.423. It's just updated, so that was a full 9 seconds quicker than Pubol's last lap. Whilst we were talking about that, I did notice that 8th overall and 4th in P2 is the LDDT endurance team car with Johnny Benetier has just pitted, or it's in the pits right now.
Nearly missed
service.
And also he's nearly missed his pit box then as well, because when he was coming into the pits, he just sort of missed his pit box and then reversed it back. You can see the tyre marks on the screen if you can, and he's just getting passed by is that Jonathan Dion? Is it? Or is
I'm
this
not
someone else?
I'm 100% because I'm just now watching back up to Chris Butcher, because he has now caught right onto the back of Pubols. Pubols goes wide just before the carousel. There's a slight tap of panels there between the two of them, but Butcher is now through, which now means that he has now moved up a place in the order. He's now up to 11th. The next target he's going to try and pass is the man that's 5th in class, 10th overall, and that's the number 207 Emmy racing car of Eddie Halgrim. The gap between the two of them is actually 2 laps at the moment, but he is currently lapping about 5 seconds quicker, so that's going to take a considerably larger amount of time to make up that gap. But I'm sure with Chris's capable hands, he'll be able to do that without too much trouble, depending on how much traffic he gets caught up in, and also if there's anything else that happens along the way. Hopefully it doesn't, but we'll have to keep posted on that one for the moment. Looking back to what's going on in the field, let's have a quick look, update as to what we are looking, how we're looking time-wise. We're getting close to the 4-hour mark, so I will do a rundown of the top 10 and top 5s in each class, top 10 overall, and then the top 5s in each class. When we get to the 4-hour mark, but until then, keep our eyes focused on what's going on the race here right now, and we'll have a look in just a second. Let's have a look.
Ben Warren has just jumped into the SRS racing car.
Yes, he has.
Team goes out.
Team Talk has jumped out. Ben Warren jumps in. It's a good guy, Ben Warren. I hope he won't mind me saying this, because I say this in the most positive possible way that I can. Ben does actually use a special steering wheel which actually has hand controls. It's a fantastic wheel he's got. It's a Russo or Rosso steering wheel he's got. It's an F1 style wheel, and he's someone who has to use hand controls. but even so, he's fantastically quick with it, as quick as he can be with it. So he's a very capable driver. So hopefully Ben can get the most out of this SRS accurate LMP2. He seems to be managing just fine on this outlap, so he's doing a pretty damn good job of it so far. And he's currently helping to maintain his team's lead in the P2 class. The majority of that fantastic effort was done by Oscar Hardwick in the beginning of the stint when he did a double stint, put on a fantastic pace to help this car get into the lead of the class. And Teemu Toika's now just handed over after a good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes worth of driving. And now Ben Morris turns to see what he can do.
He's currently nearly 4 seconds behind the current P2 leader, David Horoff, in the Hell Racing Team Hungary. And David Horoff, he's doing well at the moment, but though he will get caught up by Ben Warren soon, if not later. And just behind Ben Warren is Simcoe's Hungarian team, Balzar's Kiss, who's 5 seconds behind him, but Balzar's Kiss might not be able to catch up to him soon. Let's have a look at the top 10 fastest laps. Leading them is Adam Mosowski in the feeder Sport Poland with a 1 minute 45.1. Then is Marcus Borchik with a 1 minute 45.5. Ren Hogtrup 1 minute 46.0. Then it is Matt Strand, Rafael Dormis. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Chris Butcher. Then is Ben Warren, Johnny Botier, Lazar's Kiss, and Ken Hunter. That's rounds at the top 10. Let's have a look at the main classification of round 3 of the Race Department Le Mans Series here at Road America. 10-hour race is Rene Hogtop leading ahead of Rafael Dormis, Marcus Borchik. Then we've got Adam Masowski, David Horoff. Then we got Ben Warren, Balthazar Kiss, Matt Strand, Johnny Botier, Eddie Hallgreen, Chris Butcher. Sorry, Chris Butcher just moved out of place, I think, from Kevin Boypauls. Sorry if I said that. Carl Milton. Then we got Maurice Zondak, Valenti Solhack, Ken Hunter, Robert Godicki, who's just overtaken from who did Robert overtake from?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Christian Fage, I think.
Oh yeah, it's Christian Fage. We got behind him is Salmanasiak. Then we got Blocker, Offermans, Sehovic, Downer, Zwiers. Then behind him we got Roy Magnus, who's just overtaken from Acer Cliff. Then we got Van der Stieren, Benham. Then we got Paul Martins. Mayfield is at the back. And I'm very much mistaken, but Balthazar Kiss has actually caught up to Ben Warren. He's actually closed down the gap, and now he's just 1 second behind Ben Warren. So let's just have a look at Balthazar Kiss and Ben Warren. So there's Ben Warren in the SRS Racing behind Balthazar Kiss. In front of Balthazar Kiss in the Simco Hungarian team. Just passing the Hell Team Racing of no, it's not that. It's this is served motorsports of Sahovic as they come to the end of the carousel, and Ben Warren trying his best to defend from that Balthazar Kiss, but the Hungarian and Ben Warren's gone wide. Balthazar Kiss got past him. One major blow for SRS. So what a major blow for Ben Warren. He was going well and not doing well at all. And strangely, we just had a message from Ken Hunter, just slowing. He says he's just slowing to pit. So Daredevils. And it looks like we got some damage on the RMI Motorsports Porsche of what looks like to be Roy Magnus, and Roy is passed by one of the P1 cars, and just about to be passed by the disturbed Motorsport car of Nero Zahovic, and Nero passes him with these, or does he? Yeah, Nero Zahovic just good pass him. It's not excited to fair this one because he's going slowly. So Zahovic have a place which is good, but though Magnus down place, which is not good for him. He might come into the pits now if he can. Locked up in the last corner there, and is he going to go into the pits? He doesn't. He's not going into the pits. That's a bit strange. He's not going into the pits. I need to cut the damage on his front bumper.
I think I've just seen one of the GT2 Porsches have a spin, either that or they've had a moment, because I couldn't quite make it out just coming out the last corner, because there's quite a few cars bunched up on the pit straight at the moment. One of which is Chris Butcher as he goes through, but there was I'm pretty sure there's one of the GT2 cars has just had a spin out of the last corner. Either that was a huge twitch. Must have been I think it was the Sim Racer of Holland car, because that car's in the pits right now. Dennis Duna. And he is still leading the GT2 category right now in the Porsche. And I'm pretty sure, is this going to be a driver change? It might well be driver change. We've already had Wilfried van der Brink driving that car. So Dennis Duna now currently in that car, but...
And Duna stopped. Duna has stopped the engine. So it could be a driver change, it could not be. I don't know.
Well, usually the rules in endurance racing are you have to switch the engine off whilst all work is being done to the car. So that's probably the reason why the engine's off is probably because that is possibly the regulations. But let's have a look now. It's pretty long, so I would expect this to be a driver change if it's this long. Usually, if it's just a fuel and tyre stop, it wouldn't take as long as this. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a different driver in that Sim Racer Holland Porsche in just a moment.
It could be Offermans. No, wait, but Offermans is still in the race, isn't he? Yeah, he is. So it could be back to Van der Brink or back to Neuenhoff.
Well, I'm not sure how so much this Sim Racer Holland.
And the engine started again, and
he
there's no driver change.
He stayed in, so he's doing another stint, which is looks like that Duna is deciding to do a triple stint, which should be intriguing to see how that works out near the end of everything. We've got Satellite Racing GT2. Now that car is in. Where's that car come from? Because that's the car appears to. That's Benham. Sorry. Yeah, so that car's been there for ages. It's got a different name to it rather than everyone else because it's on the screen on the team name. So ignore me on that one. Let's see what else we've got going on down the field. I see that the Disturbed Motorsports car had another driver change. Nero Sehovic is back in that car. The RC.co.uk Corvette Valentin Solehak is back in that car as well. I can now see Maurice Zondag is now in the F1 Cast Racing Lamborghini. So that's their third driver. Samuel Fuller's now in the Daredevils racing team LMP2. That's the Porsche RS Spider. What else have we got now? Let's have a look. Right, okay, we're past. Where are we past now? Okay, we're just past the 4 hour mark because I'm going to do a rundown. I myself am going to do a rundown of the top 10 and in overall, and then just the top 5s in each class. So let me just change something here quickly for a sec. Right then, so just over the 4 hour mark, then 4 hours and 5 minutes here at round 3 of the Road America. At Road America for the Race Department Le Mans Series. And currently leading is Rene Hugter in the number 107 Sim SRVN Peugeot 908, and he's completed 134 laps and has a 6-second lead over the second placed car, second overall, and in P1, number 113 Seat RC.F. France racing team car of Raphael Boroditz, who is back in that car now, I believe. And Boroditz has a 25.5 second advantage over third in class and overall, and number 112 No Limit Motorsports car of Marcus Broick. And that car is currently in third place. We said he has a 1 minute and he has a 34.5 second advantage over fourth overall and in class the number 103 Feeder Sport Poland car of Adam Macharski. Macharski himself has a 1 minute and 11.5 second lead over fifth place, sneaking into the top 5 and leading P2 currently right now, who recently just took the lead, is the number 202 Simco Hungarian team Acura of Balázs Kiss. Balázs Kiss currently at the wheel, has completed 129 laps, and currently right now he has only has a gap of half a second, so I have to keep an eye on that one between himself and David Horvath. Horvath is currently second in P2 and 6th overall in the number 204 Hell Racing Team Hungary Acura. In fact, I will keep an eye on that one, see exactly what's going on with those two, because they are pretty damn close. In fact, Marcus Broick is also in the vicinity as well. He's making his way past both of those cars, so we'll keep an eye on that just whilst we continue to run down the top 10 and then the top 5 from of each class that we can. Had something just come up. Right. So in 6th place is David Horvath, and he has only a 10 second advantage now over Ben Warren, whose car was leading P2 for so long, but now it's down to third. And that's the number 209 SRS racing car. Ben Warren sharing that car with Oscar Hardwick and Timu Toika. They have a 55.5 second gap over the 5th placed P1 car and 8th in class. That's the 105 Satellite racing car of Matt Strand, and he's only 6.5 seconds ahead of the car in 9th place and 4th in P2, the number 206 LDDT Endurance Team car driven by Johnny Bonnetier at the moment, and they're currently 7.4 seconds behind, and then 1 minute and 21 seconds behind them in 10th place and 5th in P2 is the number 207 Emmy racing car of Eddie Halgren. And they currently have a 29 second advantage, which is starting to come down bit by bit, ahead of Chris Butcher, who is in a recovering THR Peugeot after their earlier with the disconnection and then the crash earlier on, both of those excuse me, involving Lee Palmer, and they are trying to recover and up to 11th right. No, in fact they are now 11th and they're chasing. In fact, no, they're 11th. They were ahead of Stephen Pubols, but either they've had a mistake somewhere, or something's gone wrong, because I can't see their time coming up on the screen anywhere. So, what has happened to Chris Butcher? Is he still going? He's in the pits. That's the reason why. Chris Butcher in the pits. So that's the reason why he's dropped back down again to 12th. Looking at the back of onto GT1s now, and the top of GT1 at the moment, 14th overall, leading GT1 is the number 303 F1. Is the number 303 F1 Cast Racing Lamborghini Murcielago RGT. Currently being driven by Maurice Zondag, and that's been also been shared by Bram Beelan. And who else was in that car? I forget who was driving that car now. Apologies for that. I'll double check that on the thread on RaceDepartment.com. And they currently have an advantage of 18.5 seconds over the second placed car in that class. 15th overall, second in class, the number 309 RC.co.uk Racing Team Chevrolet Corvette, currently being driven by Valentin Solehak. Now that car is 13.5 seconds now. That's the P2 car, which is recovering. That's fine. third in GT1 and 17th overall is the number 305 No Limit Motorsport Corvette, and that's been driven by Robert Godeker at the moment. It's being shared by Michael Muller and Christian Fej. And that car is 1 minute and 17 and a half seconds ahead of the car, which is 5th. No, sorry, I missed that completely. 4th place. Apologies for that. 18th overall. And 4th in class is the number 308 Roaring Pipes Maniacs Corvette of Message Message Japaniak, I think. That's another driver in there I haven't seen just yet in that car. And they currently have an advantage of 43.5 seconds over the car's 19th overall and 5th in class, rounding out the top 5 in GT1's the number 307 Rare Endurance Team Machine of Richard. That's the Corvette as well. Another Corvette of Richard Blocker, and they are currently have an advantage of 43.5 seconds. 42.5 seconds over the car, which is in 6th. Moving into GT2s, and the car which has last lead at the moment is currently the number 402 Brigata Orso Porsche that's being driven by, that's 22nd overall, but leading GT2, and that is being driven by Franz Sveers. 116 laps completed for them. They currently have, in terms of a gap, a 47.5 second advantage over the second placed cars in GT2, 23rd overall, the number 409 Sim Racing for Holland Porsche of Dennis Duna that we've just seen make a pit stop, but keep Dennis at the wheel, but with Dennis remaining at the wheel for another stint. Now they have a 6 second over Roy Magnez in the number 4, who's 24th overall, 3rd in class, number 406 RMI Motorsport Porsche. And then we're seeing in 4th place, they must be in the pits at the moment because I can't see any gaps for them. Now I can. It's 2 minutes and 11 seconds back now behind RMI Motorsport, 25th in overall and 4th in class, the number 408 Sim Race, the SRVN Porsche of Jos van der Sterren. And then they have a gap of 1 minute 25.5 seconds. 1 minute and 25.5 seconds over the car that's 5th in class and 26th overall, which is the number 414 Satellite Racing 2 Porsche of Davy Benham, and they have a 15.5 second advantage over the guys in 6th position. No, sorry, that's wrong. Excuse me. That's quite a bit. 1 minute 20 second advantage, we'll say, over the guys in 6th position. Oh, excuse me, I wasn't even pressing the button. Apologies for that. I am a clock. Sometimes I don't know myself when I'm using push to talk. I sometimes forget I'm pressing the button, which is rather embarrassing, but in other cases, rather hilarious and funny. But anyway, we're talking about Chris Butcher, and he's currently trying to close in on the LSD racing car. He's currently one of the fastest, the fastest man on track by about 1/10 of a second right now as they move forwards. I can see that we have been. That's fine. So let me just camp in our thing. That's fine. Right. So as we were saying before, I realised I wasn't pressing the push the talk button. Chris Butcher is currently sat in 12th position. And he is now trying to chase down, as we said, Stephen Pooballs in the LSD racing car. Last lap times around, well, that would have been an outlap. That's the reason why that he's dropped way back now. He's now back down to 31 seconds. I would have thought, yeah, that would have been an outlap. But either that we got really caught up in traffic because the LSD racing car did a 154.2, the THR Persian did a 157.5. So that's probably either got really caught up in traffic or he's had a spin somewhere at some point on that lap. Didn't quite catch it, but he's running strongly at the moment. But I can definitely see that. Let's look at the gaps now. The THR Peugeot starting to get himself back on the pace once again. In fact, now the fastest guys on track at the moment now are indeed the race leaders. That in fact the SRVN Peugeot is currently sat. His last lap time was a 146.8, so Hoogturp is now starting to dial in a bit more pace at the moment during this stint. Looking at the ambient temperature at the circuit, it's 26.6 degrees, so you can round that up to 27. The track temperature, if I look at that quickly on my screen for the circuit, currently reads at 35 degrees, so it's fairly warm out there on track at the moment. As Chris Butcher now makes his way up the hill to complete another lap. That will register. Let's see what the gap is this time. It was about 30 seconds when I last saw it. Down to 26.5. So lap times last time around a 153.3 for Pooh was a 147.7 going on there. Now then, what else can we have a look at in terms of gaps? I can see it's a pretty close battle for third in GT1. That's also for 17th and 18th overall. Robert Godeker in the number 305 No Limit Motorsports Corvette is currently coming under pressure. As we have a look at this one, let's have a look and see what's going on with these two. If I can have a quick glimpse. Oh, was that a spin? I think that was a spin for the UK NL Aston Martin. Yes, it was. I saw that just in front of Butcher there. He's got going again. George Pole. Slight lapse in concentration, but he's going to gather it back together and get on with the race once again. So he will carry on as normal. Now back to that battle for third place in the class. Back to battling class for third place in GT1. Godeker is now starting to pull away because now they've got the SRS car Ben Warren, who is trying to make up some time after you can say a kind of didn't get to the quickest of starts, so he's having to make up time right now as he does now. Chris Butcher's also carving his way through the field. I mean, we've talked a lot about Chris Butcher in the past few laps, but that is one of the main stories of this race, of course, the troubles and the bad luck that THR have had. But now Blocker's now starting just to close in a little bit now as they come back down to the straight, and you can see that Blocker's now got the eyes on. And in fact, Blocker I think has just dived into the pit lane. Yes, he has. So Robert Richard Blocker brings the number 307 Rare Endurance Team car into the pits, as does Maurice Zondag, the GT1 leader. He brings the Lamborghini in, and also the P2 leaders in as well. I can see the Balash Kiss has brought the. Let's have a look. That was the Simco Hungarian team. Accurate LMP2 in from the lead of the class. Now, whether or not he's been in there for quite a while, so I would imagine that's going to be a driver change in there. I'd be a little bit surprised if it wasn't, because I think he's done at least 2 stints in that car at this point right now. Just seen Ben Warren has flashed past the pit. He was long gone. Sorry, that was someone else going past the pits. Let's have a look. And Bashka actually stays in, so obviously he's comfortable for another stint. Now Samuel Fuller goes past in the Daredevils Racing Team Porsche RS Spider. Now Ryan Mayfield's left the game. Now that
that's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? That's a bit of a surprise.
Let's have a look. Now what was he? Now what car was he going to be taking over? Ryan Mayfield was going to be taking over. That was the Scuderia. That's weird. That was the Scuderia Bollers Negro Ferrari, but as far as I'm aware, that disconnected permanently quite a while ago. Let's have a look. Well, that was back on lap 85. So whether or not they've got themselves back into the race to try and get themselves a few more positions. If that is the case, their car is still 29th overall and 7th in GT2. So they've got a lot of work to do in order to try and make up that gap on that one. Looking back down the order and looking at what else is going on, who is close to each other on track right now? What's the closest battle? Because everyone has got at least a gap of about 10 seconds to each other. It's not really that too close to each other. The closest gap on track is, or as far as I can see at the moment, is only 9 seconds, and that's between the battle for 4th and 5th in GT1. And that's 4th is now currently the Roaring Pipes Maniacs Corvette, which has now been taken over by. In fact, no, it's been still got Mercedes Japaniak in at the wheel of that car, and they're battling with Marcel Offerman. He's battling with Marcel Offerman, who's piloting the number 311 Sim Racing for Holland Corvette, and the gap there is still 9 seconds. All the rest are very spread out at the moment, and it is now, I think, just a case of strategy that's going to play out here. So we will have to wait and see how it goes as the race progresses. I'm going to keep a close eye on that one, because that's probably going to be an intriguing battle if that gap decreases any more. But at the moment, I mean, it doesn't actually. Looking at the times, doesn't look like it's going to happen too soon. Well, maybe not, because I'm looking at the times changing all the time. 2 minutes 1.9 for Japaniak that last time, and a 2 minutes 2.0 for Offerman, who is now starting just to close in bit by bit at the moment. So there was only a few hundredths in it between. But in fact, it was exactly a tenth between those two. So we'll wait and see, and await the outcome of that one. Let's have a look on that one. The rest of the field as they go through. And the GT, look back at the front just to quickly check in with the race leader, Rene Hugterp, in the SRVN Sim Race Vereniging Netherlands Peugeot, the white and black machine with little orange flashes on the side as well. And he is now making his way up towards the final corner, and I'm not sure he's going to come in and pit. Does he pit? No, he doesn't. He carries on. He's perfectly comfortable with the amount of fuel that he's got on board for the moment. And he carries on. He has the lead then at this Road America 10 hours, then round 3 of the Race Department Le Mans Series. And with that, I think, looking at the time here, I think whilst I've been here since the start, I think as I've got some more commentary commitments to get to, I think for now this is going to have to. I think actually for the whole racing, this is actually going to be me signing out. I think, because I'm going to be heading over to take over commentary duties for the FSR World Series. That wasn't a plug, by the way. If you want to come and watch, feel free of your own accord. If you're not a problem. I'm pretty sure they'll upload the broadcast back on the Formula Sim Racing YouTube page for you to watch if you're still engrossed in this endurance race. But either way, whatever's happening, hopefully the rest of this race goes off without a hitch, and we'll see exactly how it goes on. So with that, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Ron Squire and whoever else is going to be coming along to help out with the commentary. But until then, I'm going to sign off. So I will leave you with Ron, and I'll catch you guys next time. And if anyone's going to jump over to Formula Sim Racing in about an hour's time, I'll see you there as well.
See you, Scott. Hello, guys. Let's just get on with this, shall we? Here is the leading at the here are the standings at the moment. Rene Hugterp is leading ahead of Marcus Brudzik in second. Rafael Desis is in third. Mozowski is in fourth. Harlat in fifth. Ben Warren in sixth. Bazarskis in seventh. Matt Strand eighth. Bolletier ninth. And Helgren just rounds up the top 10. Now let's have a look at the top 10 for the fastest laps on the race. Moswaski is first, ahead of Brook in second. Borodis is third, with Hugterp in fourth. Strand in fifth. Butcher sixth. Brazalskis 7th, Bemorn 8th, Bontier 9th, and Carl Middleton rounds up the top 10 of fast laps in 10th place. Morski has still had the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 45.1, and the race leader Hawkturp is now on his lap. From his point of view, is lap 147. We still go about 6 hours and a quarter left of round 3 of the RaceDepartment Le Mans series here at Road America. I'm Ron Squire, your sole commentator for now, until someone else comes along to help me along. You can, if anyone has commentating experience, you can join me now. If not, so now just I hope for either James Kirk or Scott Webber or Marco Ringi or Bram Hensfield to come along help me. Or Xavier. So at the moment, let's just have a look at any close gaps at the moment. And as far as I'm concerned, the closest gap so far is Sebastian, who's actually under pressure from Marcel Offermans. Maastricht is in the Roaring Pipes Maniacs ahead of Offermans in the sim racing for Holland. They're both. They are both in the GT1 category, in both 4th and 5th place. If we could just have a look at that. I just received word that I will have a co-commentator for this afternoon, for the rest of the afternoon or evening, and that will be Xavier, which will be back in 15 minutes or so. Okay, so I will be back in about a couple of minutes. So I just need to get some details out. So just give some little bit of details out for a sec. Dude, stay with me. Okay, I just got word that the closest battle at the moment is between Maurice Zondak and Alexandre Amzamlot. Can we just view Zondak, please? Actually, just view Amlot from from the front, please. Okay, thanks. So so we got Zamlot just behind Zondak with just nearly 6 hours and 10 minutes to go. They're both getting at it. Zondak is only about a couple seconds in front of Zamlot, and it looks like Zondak has entered the front. Is he going to go into the pits? No. But mind you, that Batter's front end is gonna it is actually gonna increase speed because no wait, it's gonna decrease the speed from his point of view because he's in the GT1 category and he's past the GT2 car, so that doesn't count. But though, what does matter is that he will be overtaken or not by Amslot, which is just about, I can say, about 3 to 2 seconds behind, depending on how fast he is going. Just going through the second corner, going down the back straight / third corner because there's a kink on there. Now going down into the fourth corner. Just going down there as quick as he possibly can, and as grippy as possibly can. Going into the turns 5 and 6. Now 6 people usually go a little bit wide with the dust coming out, but though, and he's done exactly that, but though a little bit much more dust. This time down into turn 7. Okay, into turn 8, just underneath the bridge, around the carousel he goes, and he's gone a little bit wide. That could mean that Amslot might be able to catch up to him as they go down the curve straight past the Bill Mitchell bend before just braking for the fourth to last corner, and looks like we got a slowing P2 car. Is it a slowing P2 car? It is. It looks like he's gonna and he's looks like he hasn't passed him yet, but though what I can say is Amslot is just about a couple. He's just gained on Zondak, and I thought for a moment that he was going to pass the P2 car. Who was he trying to catch in the P2 car? It was Stephen Pablos in the LSD Racing. So he might be overtaken by a GT1 car. That would be impressive. So going down into turn 3, then into the slow turn 5 and 6, which is a bit of an opposite to when you go over the bridge at the Oran Park Speedway. When you go when you come out after that to Kings, and then you go over the bridge, and then just halfway through the bridge you brake straight away and turn right. Well, turn 5 and 6 here is exactly the same, except you turn left, then you turn right again, but it does not go downhill. But never mind about that. Let's just get on with the race, and he has passed the UK NL Aston Martin of what believes to be Brian Fairley. Yes, he has passed Brian Fairley. He was just taking over for now. So let's see if we got And looks like when the MI cars has just gone wide. Who is it? It's Roy Magnus, and Roy Magnus has still got a. Yeah, Roy Magnus's car still is damaged, but and so is Zondak, but Zondak is going even more faster. And it looks like Magnus has gone wide, but that's okay. He's letting Aslot and someone else through as they go down into turn 2. Let's see if there's any more gaps at the moment. The smallest gap I can see is, despite the battle between Zondek and Amzod, the next one that is going to be a close battle is between Namsak and Botier, which is in both third and fourth in the P2 category. So if we can have a look at that, please. Thank you. And looks like Botier just wants to get flash his lights. Thank you very much. Well, let me go past. Go down the main straight. Can we just get a onboard shot of him? Can we? Okay, so just going into the first corner, and remember he's trying to catch up to Nemzak, who is about 8 seconds behind the next car of Satellite Racing's Matt Strand. Now Matt Strand hasn't switched a driving seat for about a couple of hours now, and I think it might be the time for him to switch cars. So it's all going well so far, and let's just have a look at other battles at the moment. But I mean, and looks like yes, that's a Satellite Racing Porsche of Davy Benham. Davy Benham also lets Bonatier through. And looks like we got Chris Butcher with us. All right, Chris?
Hello. How's it going?
So I heard was the second stint for you all right, or was it the first stint?
Nah. Well, we've just decided to call it quits. To be honest, I got in the car and it felt a bit terrible. It was drivable, but not very quick. And then Feeder Sport Poland decided it'd be appropriate to sort of drive onto the racing line at a right angle, and I had nowhere to go and slammed into it. So I lost the entire front end of the car, and then from there I decided to fit some super softs because I just wanted to see how fast the car could go, and then I crashed it. So we took the penalty, got a brand new car, and just sort of treating it like a test session, I suppose. And then I was just again pushing hard and clipped the inside curb on turn 1, and the car went round and smashed into the barrier, and then thought, well, that's it now, really.
Well, I'm sorry for your bad race, but at least you had a good one.
Hey, that don't really work, does it?
Did you have a good one? Did you?
My stint was okay, I suppose, up until a point that we got taken out. You know, I know we weren't really at the front at that point, but it's still annoying to have that happen to you when you've got, you know, you're racing with best intentions of, you know, making it to the end and making the best out of a bad situation. But
okay, fine.
Yeah, we've got some you know, good things to take from this in terms of our pace, and we've done some really good work on the setup. So that's hopefully something that we can carry forward to Le Mans, hopefully.
Yes, and I'll see you at Le Mans.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks. And just just joining me in the commentary box now. Hopefully, for the last of about 6 hours left of the race, is exactly decalable. Hope I spelled that right, have I?
That's alright.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm back.
So welcome back.
Yeah.
So welcome back, Xavier. Let's just get on with it, shall we?
Yeah, sure. I'm currently watching, and I'm pretty sure the broadcast is also watching, this interesting battle between Zondag and Amelo. Amelo's just got past Zondag. They've been going at it for quite a couple of laps. Yeah, this battle is the closest one on track at the moment. And it seems, well, Zondag is actually coming, sort of closing the gap again on Amelo and trying to come back at him, it seems.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is the battle for. It's in GT1, and it's the battle for second and third in class. And of course, Robert Goodicke in the No Limit Motorsports car is currently leading the GT1 class. And now we see Zondag in the tow of Amelo going down into turn 1, not trying to make a move, but he does seem to be closing in quite nicely now. And he should be able to make a move, maybe this lap or maybe in another lap's time. Because he's getting really, really close as they go under the bridge here. There he goes. Amelo trying to defend from Zondag. Zondag had to go wide, but they're not making the move stick there, but it just shows you he is pushing to get past. Now they're coming up to traffic. Oh, it's going to be a tight squeeze. That's oh, and Amelo has just spun off. Is that Zondag waiting for him? Did Zondag give him a bit of a tap there? I'm not sure. I didn't see that. But Zondag's definitely waiting for Amelo, so I would think that he gave him a bit of a tap. And they carry on their little race going on. Very respectful, I must say, from Zondag. If you did tap him, just to wait for him, as that is in the rules, and not being too impatient. Oh, as Amelo just got a bit of a tap there from Kiss as he tried to lap the cars. Matt Strand coming through there as well, as is Middleton. Middleton gets past Amelo. Amelo is really pulling a bit of a gap on Zondag now, since that traffic. Now let's see if Zondag, if he's pushing hard enough, he should be able to close the gap again on Amelo, and we'll see if he can get close again, and if they can have a good battle again. Looking at the sector times, it's close. Zondag doesn't seem to be making too much time on Amelo, but he is closing in a little bit more. And I wonder, I haven't been on for long, but I haven't been monitoring the situation as well as to who stopped when. But am I right in saying that Amelo's tires might be a little bit older than Zondag's tires, which might be why Zondag is gaining on him? Or they could actually be racing on different tire types and running different strategies, maybe.
I think they might need to come in for tyres because if they are slowing down and they're not getting enough grip throughout the corners, they need to come into the pits. Their tyres may be worn out.
Yeah, and here comes Musarski, I think it's pronounced, trying to go past Amalo, and yeah, doing so seemingly cleanly. Or no, there's contact there between Amalo and Musarski, giving a bit of a flash up the hill there, telling him that was not right. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the GT cars staying on their lines and the LMP cars just being a little bit more patient. And I saw earlier with Ken Hunter and another P2 car trying to get around him. Ken Hunter got taken out completely by the car behind him. And it could have been avoided. All the P2 car behind him had to do was just be a little bit more patient. Oh, but no, Amalo's actually got a big gap now on Zondag, going down into the hill here, or down the hill. Sorry.
And now they're just going
just
up the
behind
hill
them, I think, as
into turn 5 and 6. Amalo is closing up, is it?
No. Who's that? No, that's a GT2 car that I think they're coming up on. If the GT2 car holds Amalo up, then that gives Zondag the chance to close the gap again and maybe get around Amalo even. But that seems a little bit unlikely.
I don't think Zondag is going to close up because he nearly
Oh,
had
he's
a
just
little
hit
bit of
traffic
wheel
as well,
spin
then.
going through the carousel. He just lets a
Yeah, I think that's
P2 car
Bonneteer.
through, is it?
I think it's Bonneteer. Let's see. Well, he's going around the GT2 car now, and yes, it is Bonneteer. Bonneteer has just gone past Zondag. He's now about to go past Amalo. Hopefully, he goes past cleanly and is a bit more patient. And again, you see, it's the same corner where these guys are just battling each other into it. They're not being patient enough around that final corner. And Zondag has lost out a lot of time there. Look at that.
So anyway, we're just past the 4 hour. Is it?
Yeah, I think it is 4
No,
hours.
No, wait a minute.
Or
Well,
5.
actually, in the 4.5 hour mark, with nearly just about 5.5 hours to go, and the current standings looks like this. René Hoogstrup is leading ahead of Brodis in second. Tobias Sonnenberg is back in the cockpit. Adam Masaki is in fourth. Fifth is Ben Warren. Sixth, Matt Strand is Bazar's Kiss. Gabriel Namzak is in eighth. Ninth is Bottier. 10th is Bjorn Peterson. Fablos, Middleton, Fuller, Gordek, Amblo, the Zondak, the Maniac, Blocker, Noy, Ruff, but then it is Van Doren, and then it is Zuiz, Downer, Magnus, Van der Steven, Venom, then it is Fairley, and finally Rui Martins.
Right, and we're now just on board with Maurice Zondag here. He's behind. This is Shepaniak. Yeah, he's just behind Shepaniak, and yeah, they are having an epic battle here. Zondag's just spun. Zondag's just spun off. What happened there? He just dropped the car. Just dropped from underneath him.
Right, can we get a replay of that? Okay, so it was just coming out of it was just coming into the second to last corner, and he just lost traction, and unfortunately just spins out. What bad!
Yeah, I think that tells us. I think that tells us the tires are either a little bit older or Or that might have just been a normal driver error, but he has been losing a bit of pace to car in front.
From his point of view, it could be, well, unfortunately, from his point of view, it might be a driver error because he hasn't come into the pits but changed
Oh,
tyres
yeah.
again. So it could be the tyres, or he's just not being paying attention enough to the car.
Well, it might even be what Bram was talking about earlier, which is the mental tire issue, where you think your tires are gone and you just start making mistakes. But in actual fact, your car is perfectly fine. But Maurice Zondag there, bit of an error on his part. He was right behind Szczepaniak there.
As Zondak's gone a little bit wide in turn 4 into turn 5
Oh,
and
yeah.
6. He's let's see how he goes into turn 6. Most people normally go wide, and he hasn't gone wide at all. So it could be his controlling into turn 7.
Oh,
and he's
oh,
gone wide in turn 7.
Yeah, he's gonna put wide there. Yeah.
Okay, underneath the bridge into the carousel of turn 8. He's let's hope he doesn't spin out this time. No,
If he
I can't
does
see any oversteer.
have a
I
bit
can't
of
see
a
any
moment.
oversteer at all. He has gone wide at the end of that corner.
Yeah.
Just going into the bend. Sorry, Bill Mitchell bend. Then he just breaking for the.
Let's see here.
Before
Yeah, no, the
going
car
into.
seems to be alright through there.
Yeah.
I think that was just a driver error then.
Yeah, it could be. So going into the last corner. So what is he going to do? Is he? Yep, he's missed the pits.
No, he stays out. He stays out.
Yeah, that's what I said. He missed the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're riding on board with Zondag here. Let's just see. Hold on, yeah.
And looks like he's gone a little bit wide in turn 1.
Yeah.
Going down
I'm trying
into
let's
turn.
see, turn 2. Brakes quite late and misses the apex a little bit, but he seems to keep it straight. Car seems to be under control from him, going under the bridge now. I think he might also just be a little bit tired. You know,
Going down into
being an endurance
turn.
race, it is quite difficult, and after a while, your concentration starts.
Turn 4 seems alright.
Yeah, let's see here.
Turn 5, he's gone very wide. Turn 6, he's alright. Turn 7, that's how he looks going.
Brakes very late for that.
7, he hits the apex, and he's okay with that. Going underneath the bridge, through the carousel, and he's gone a bit wide, nearly central of the circuit. Then
I think he's just trying to use every part of the circuit he possibly can to get the quickest time he can. I mean, yeah, he's got quite a bit of ground to make up now. Brakes nice and early for that corner going in. Comes out a little bit wide. He missed part of the apex there. So here he should be flat. Oh, he's lifting off a bit. Coming around towards the last corner.
and he
flips the exit.
and he's okay for that corner.
Seems fine.
Yeah, and he's past the
Past the pits
entry
again. Yeah, no, I think that was just a driver. I think he's just getting a bit tired now.
Yeah, because it is endurance racing. People do get tired in these circumstances, and Zondak, we can see from our point of view, is really, really tired, and we thought it was just the tyres.
Yeah, and you see that the further in you go, I mean, you can last, what, an hour, 2 hours, but when you have to do 2 of those stints, you really have to be focused for the full 2 hour stint. It's really challenging. And, yeah, mistakes are going to be made, of course.
So let's have a look at some other people now. Let's see which one is the let's see which one has the most. Actually, the less gap between them, and I'm just having a look, and the gap upwards is smallest at the moment is between Nemsak and Ben Warren. If we could just have a look at that, can we get an on board of Ben Warren, please? Okay, and he's just going down the main straight, and he's just getting up to Gabor Nemsak in the Hell Racing Team Hungary, the HRT Hungary. Going into turn 2, and everyone is having a good stint, but it didn't start off well. Remember, he nearly spun off and lost the place to who was it? Was it Boris Dice? Was it, or someone else?
I'm not sure. Well, remember, I only came back in about 20 minutes ago. What I have noticed actually is that Lars Bruchmann is now in for the Daredevils racing team. That means Samuel Fuller, I think his hour stint is now over, after taking over from Ken Hunter. Yeah, we'll see. Lars Bruchmann is a very, very quick driver. One of the quickest, I think, in that Daredevils team, and we'll see just what he can do. Daredevils haven't had a very good day today. You know, they haven't performed as well as they would have liked. And I mean, when Scott came on, he sounded very disappointed with what had happened so far in the race. And of course, with Ken being taken out, I don't think that worked in his favour as well. He's currently being chased down, if I'm not mistaken, by Nemchak. And he's encountered some traffic there. But yeah, Bruchmann, he's a quick driver, and I'm sure he'll start getting that car. He'll start putting down the 150s and maybe 149s. Some quick lap times down to get that car back to where it should be.
Okay, so let's have a look at the current stint from the Hell Racing team. Scott Webber was, as he described, was terrible, but from our point of view, it was not bad. Ken Hunter was okay. Matt Richards doing well, and now we're now we have Lars Brunchman, who can hopefully carry on with the rest of the race, which is just nearly 5 hours to go.
Well, they've been doing, looking at it throughout the race, they've got 5 drivers down, and they've been doing an hourly stint. So I think each driver is now going to have another turn to go. I think Lars will probably finish the race. But yeah, let's just see what he can do with the stint. He's a very good driver, as I've said before. We'll see. Maybe he can get the car up there again. And let's hope he can keep Nemchak at bay, if they are racing for position, that is. With regards to Ken, as soon as he took over from Matt Richards was doing sort of 150s. And I'm not sure if there was damage to the car or anything, but Ken actually had some substantially lower lap times. And that might have hurt the position, maybe, of that Daredevil's car, posting some slower lap times than their target.
Right, let's get back with Ben Warren, and Ben Warren is actually just lowered his speed down from Nemsak. Nemsak has actually just pulled away from Ben Warren about a couple of seconds up. So Ben Warren is about
he's chasing Lars Bruchmann now.
Behind.
Just let's see if he is actually racing against Bruchmann. Let me just check the live timing here.
He isn't. Ben Warren is actually behind. He's behind Nemsak.
Yeah, Daredevils is actually in dead last in the P2 category. Not a good day for them. They're 2 laps behind the next P2 car. But look, we've still got 5 hours to go. So anything can happen. But of course, not a good thing to see that car so low down in the order. They were expecting a whole lot more. Oh, and Bruchmann just gone a bit wide there and impeded Nemchak a bit. Can't say Nemchak will be too pleased.
Let's just have a look at him so far, and he's going down into turn 7 at the moment. He's Despite the team's poor efforts, he's not doing badly. Just going under
You
the
see
bridge
down
into
into
the
turn 7,
carousel.
sorry, just, you see down into turn 7 how many skid marks there are there. Just shows you how many spinners we've had, just in that corner. And especially coming
I'm
in
just
here, you
gonna
can
view
see
this on.
all the brakes locked up. You see around there how many people have spun as well. All those black tire marks, swirling almost.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nemchek's
And,
not happy with Lars Bruchmann there.
And
Look at that.
we just had Johan Winenhoff just left the game, so that's and Winenhoff was in which car?
Nivanov was actually in... Oh. No, I just lost it. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, so it could have had his connection dropped. Let me just have a look on the live time. Winenhoff was was driving for Racing Holland, so he's gone.
Yes, that's right. He was in the SRVN car.
Okay, as Lars just cruised past one of the GT2 Porsches,
Yeah.
I believe of. Let's just have a look who it is. It is Jost van der Steren. And I think we just missed it, but Lars, I think, was just passed by.
Yeah, I think he had let Nemchek through there. Yeah.
Yes, he's been passed by Nemchek. Maybe sorry, Nemsak. So, just having a look at the time, and we are now just gone past the halfway mark, and the current temperature at the moment is 26 degrees Celsius, and these are the standings at the moment. Jan Wim Ensling for SRVN is leading, ahead of Tobias Sonnenberg in second. Rafael de Brodis for RC France is in third. Wozowski is in fourth. Matt Strand in fifth. Bazalskis in sixth. Namsak is seventh. Benmore in eighth. Polle in ninth. And Petterson is running at the top 10. Paul Blos is in 11th. With Middleton, then it is Budgeman, Godier Dick, Amlot, Bielen, Zizmaniak, Blocker, Van Doren, Downer, Zwiers. Just refreshing the. There we go. Magnus, Van Stieren, Fairley, Benham. And last one running is Rue Martins. So the Rue Martins having a terrible race, even with the bonnet off. He's just having a terrible race.
Yeah, a lot of the teams have actually not had a good race. The team I had backed at the start of the broadcast, THR, actually out. We've actually had also quite a couple of disconnects and a couple of crashes. Well, Johan Ivanov, the guy who had left the server, disconnected. So I'm not sure if they're going to have to serve a penalty there. They are currently running 6th in the class, and are now 2 laps behind Rare Sim Endurance Team, and SRVN are now. Well, they're still 2 laps ahead of Disturb Motorsports, so that 7 minutes that they'll have to serve in the pits. Trying to see, they'll probably end up a lap down on Regatta also. That's if they can even get back in the server. But yeah, so currently the guys who are out are THR, Scuderia, Bolis Negro.
Can I just interrupt you there for a second?
Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you there for a sec? Reed Martin's just spun off. Reed Martin
Oh,
just spun off
no.
in. Was it the last corner? Yes, it's the last corner. He spun off in the last corner. Is he going to pit? And the answer is no. He doesn't pit.
Maybe just the driving error then from him.
And
yeah, just-
Hoff is back in the server, but though he will have to settle with
Yeah,
a
that 7-minute penalty.
7-second penalty. And after
Right,
that
so-
second penalty, he
so-
can come out.
The other... Alright, let's just go through them again. So far, the cars who are now out of this race are THR, and the last driver they had in was Chris Butcher. Then Scuderia Bolas Negro with Ryan Mayfield, who was at the wheel. They are out. Core Motorsports, actually, which is one of the big teams, they're out, and Julian Dauber was the last guy to race for them, and they were out already after after 58 laps, which is not a lot, to be honest. 1066 Racing as well, their P1 car with 26 laps only, they were out. And that's disappointing for them, because 1066 so far had a good season.
They have. So let's just check
I
what
think the
the
closest
lap
gap we have
leader
now
is
is
on.
Ben Warren, I'm sure. Or Ben Warren in the car ahead of him. I'm not sure who it is.
So Ensing is leading, and he is on, and he will be starting soon. If we can, he will be starting soon. Lap number 170. If it was darts, 10 laps later, we would say now he will be coming on to lap 180. That's what I think. So yeah, so all seriousness now, he is going to start lap 170. And so let's have a quicker rundown of the top 10 who's done the fastest laps. Adam Muswarski has the fastest lap of a 1 minute 45.1. Tobias Sonnenberg a 1 minute 45.5. Rafael Dusis has a 1 minute 46.0. 4.
Oh, we've got a car off there!
Ensing
Someone has
is-
spun. Sorry. Somebody has spun in the back
Alright,
there.
is it-
I'm not sure who it is. I'm going to try and check. Oh, but that's not good for that car. Whoever that was.
Was it a Porsche?
I'm looking through now. Oh, I've just missed it. Ah, that's so annoying.
Alright.
Yeah, go
Right, so
on.
let's try and skip back 60 seconds, see what happened. And it happened on the start finish straight, yeah?
I'm not sure. No. It was midway, I think. Around the lap. No, I'm not sure who it was.
Well, we'll have to find that out soon. Please do type in the chat if you're watching this on Race Department to find out what happened there.
So also, just to
apologise
mention,
if we
sorry,
haven't showed it in time, but whoever it was,
just to mention quickly to those of you who are on
yeah,
YouTube,
come on.
it's more advisable to be on the Race Department website, that is www.racedepartment.com, then /forum/chat, and you will see the live stream. We have a track viewer, we have live timing, we even have a live Twitter feed with the hashtag RDLMS going on. And that's also an appeal to those of you who are on Twitter and would like to tweet about this event. Please do use the hashtag RDLMS, and we will be reading some of your tweets. If you have any questions, use the hashtag at the end of your tweet and tweet us some of your questions. They will show up in our Twitter feed. Also, ask some questions on the chat, because I have seen that there are one or two on YouTube. Your questions will most likely have the best answer in the chat.
Okay, we just found out from Johnny Bot. It might be a clue from Johnny Botanier. We just have to find out. One more minute, Botanier is not here, so that's a bit of a blow. So anyway, let's just get on with it. Oh, and before we just get on as well, not only you can ask us questions on Twitter, you can also find us on Facebook. Yeah, just go on Facebook and search for Race Department and ask us any questions, as well as just as Xavier just mentioned, you could type in on the chat as well. So anyway, let's get back to the race, and yeah, we've still got less than 5 hours left of round 3 of the Race Department Le Mans series here at Road America. 10 hours. And we've only just got about only got 1 more hour to go before we go into the third part, and we just had someone join our channel. Let's see who it is.
Yeah, we've just been joined by Marcin Piatkovich. Is that right?
Piatkowicz, is it? Marcin?
Yes. I cannot be at this time.
Well, how has your race been going, Marcin? How have you been finding this event?
Oh, I just saw that there is a race. Really, I hear 20 seconds. I got 2 fast questions.
Yeah, sure.
Yes?
What is the game?
This is R Factor 1 that we are running on.
Alright. Other question. What application is used for transmission, do you know? For this live stream?
I'm afraid we do not have that information for you. But I'm sure if you contact one of the admins or something, they will be able to help you out with that information, probably. But at the moment, we don't have that information for you. Sorry, mate.
Alright, no problem.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thanks. Okay, see ya.
See ya.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Well, that was awkward. So let's get on with it, shall we?
Yeah, and we've just got. Whoa, is that Szczepaniak coming up behind? Whoa, who was that? Is he lapping him or are they racing?
Right, Szczepaniak
Oh no, he's just going past. Just going past.
Yeah, just lapping him.
there, yeah.
Just lapping him.
Szczepaniak is he closing down on Amelo now? Because they were quite close before. No, Amelo is sorry, Amelo is closing down on Szczepaniak, as he's just about to pass Rui Martins there. Oh, Szczepaniak's just come into the pits, which means Amelo is now going to take the position from him. Now, will there be a driver change for that Roaring Pipes Maniac's car? Who is in... Let's just see if there might be one.
Jan Wim Enzing is leading at the moment.
Maciej Peznicki, I think, is the next... Well, Peznicki is the next person to go in the car, if I'm not mistaken, for Roaring Pipes. Let's just see if we see a driver swap from them. I'm not sure if we will. Haven't seen any movement with that car yet. No sign of a swap. So I think it might just be a routine stop for this stint.
Right, let's have a look at any close battles at the moment, and I can tell you that Starlight Racing's Alex Sturm is closing up on the HRT Hungary car of Gabor Nemsak. If we could just get Sturm on board. There we go. So Nemsak is just only about a couple of seconds ahead. Sturm is actually piling the pressure on the Hungarian as they go down on the main straight.
Oh, sorry, I just want to interrupt you here quickly. Pajnicki is now in the car. So yeah, there has been a driver swap.
Which one is it?
Maciej Pajnicki in the Roaring Pipes Maniacs car. He's just taken over from Szczepaniak.
Ah, yeah, there we are.
Now let's have a look. I'm trying to see who has the closest gap to the car ahead of them for position. Now, Pohoridic has a 2.5 second gap to the car ahead, but I'm not sure if he's racing them. So let's just have a look quick. And yes, he's chasing Sonnenberg. So yes, they are racing.
I'm just having a look on the race department chat now, and things are actually a little bit heating up between Bram Hentfield and Chris Butcher. If you can have a look on the chat. Wilfred van der Brink has just made a pit stop, as he just swapped a seat as well.
Yeah. Sorry, we've just got a tweet coming through from Corey Rexford with the hashtag RDLMS. Corey, this is not R Factor 2, this is R Factor 1. Just to answer your question.
Right, I'm just gonna have a look on Twitter as well. Just a sec.
But now, yeah, we've got Pohoridic chasing down Tobias Sonnenberg, and the gap is closing a little bit.
Yeah.
Pohoridic ever so slightly
just having a look at
gaining
the
on Sonnenberg there.
race department. Just having a look on the race department chat now, and Bradley Banyan says hi. Hi, Bradley.
Hey, Bradley.
Let's just get on with the race now.
Oh, Sonnenberg was held up a bit there by some traffic. That's blocker there. That's just blocked him. Excuse the pun.
Yeah. And Sonnenberg has actually got Bushel Dice behind him, is he? Yes, yes.
Yeah, but Pohoridic is now
behind him.
chasing down Sonnenberg, and the gap is closing. So
Right, so can we get a onboard of Raphael Bonus, please, in the race department. Sorry, in the RC France racing, please. Thank you. Just going down the straight, just past Bill Mitchell corner, and just yeah, he's closes up as much as he can.
He is actually
Sonnenberg,
closing in a little bit more now.
Yeah. Sonnenberg can defend the position, but he won't be able to get the position soon, or if not later, because Raphael is doing a fantastic job in the RC France team.
But look at, oh, Bahardich is really on the back of Sonnenberg now. He's really caught up to him. So we'll see if he can get around him maybe within the next few laps. This is going to shape up to be a very good battle.
Okay, they're going into turn 6. Let's see who, and none of them go wide. The people there usually do, but those two haven't. And Rundash has gone a little bit wide, but that's okay. But though Sonnenberg has just pulled out a little bit more in front.
Let's see if Bahardich can close the gap again.
By the way,
there's some traffic there.
Yes. So
that's Amelo.
That means,
that's Amelo actually causing the traffic.
And Amelo, what is Amelo doing? He's holding his sister teammate up. Then through. There we go.
I'm not sure if that was intentional. But well, he's still got the gap to Sonnenberg.
And
Sonnenberg's in. Sonnenberg is in.
Going in. So that means that Brunschwindijk is now in second place.
Yeah, Bahardich is now in second overall. Yeah.
Now, before we can check out the standings, let's have a look on the Race Department Twitter and see what's happening there. If anyone's got any questions.
I must say, Bahardich is actually flying now. And you can also see how low their car is. They're running a really low ride height there, because there are quite a few sparks coming off the back of the cars in some parts of the circuit, like just there, coming out of that corner. And this track's not that bumpy. Nicely clipping the apex there and getting a great exit out of that corner, I must say. See, and this is what we were saying about focus, is being able to hit every apex almost every lap. And Bram was saying it earlier as well, that these guys can really put in some quick lap times almost every single lap. And their focus is just, it's crazy, I must say. To be able to focus this long and go that fast almost every single lap for about an hour, 2 hours, that's just wow. I get tired doing some sprint races, and yeah, my hat goes up to these guys.
Right, so can I just interrupt you there? Surprisingly, James Johnson in the THR is back in, but as
That
always,
is
he has
commitment
to
right
incur
there.
a 7-second penalty before he goes back on the track. But that is an absolute surprise, isn't it?
That is a very good surprise, and that's probably going back to what was being said in the chat. I must be honest, but hey, good on them, and that's commitment for you. They're about what a heck of a lot of laps down, but yeah. Also, just seen in the chat that one of the race department front-wheel drive champions, he's won the RDMCC Season 6, contended for the RDMCC Season 7 event, that 2.4-hour endurance event in the minis at the Nordschleife, and he's also won the recent World Series by Renault Clio League at Race Department. Jimmy Hughes is looking for a drive, people. So if you want an excellent driver, there's your man. He's available. Just send him a PM on Race Department.
Yes.
I'm sure
Yes, please do
he'll,
employ him on board.
I'm sure
So,
he'll
as he said,
definitely.
please employ him on board if you want. So yes, as Xavier said, please employ him on board if you want a good driver and just want to get up on the order. Even if you're a bad team, just employ him on. You need the points. You can do it.
And he can also teach you guys a lot about driving some of these cars. I mean, he's really quick in almost anything that I've seen him in, and yeah, he's a great driver, and he's really someone that's good to have in a team, and he understands a team ethic, a good team ethic, etc. So, yep, definitely send him a PM if you want a really good driver for your team.
And like I said before, even if your team is not good, just employ him on. And looks like we got Manasowski into the pits. I don't know if it's going to be a driver change. We'll have to find out soon. Let's see if anyone else is in the feeder sport Poland team. It could be either Trixawaski again or Konrad Barr. Because if it is a driver change, most likely to be Konrad Barr because Trixawaski has already done the first stint, and I was like, he's doing his second stint, and my God, some of those cars actually were actually up in the air then. That's a bit strange.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a server glitch there because that happened to me as well. I just saw some funny things happen there. Oh, Lars Brookman on the back of Norbert Serban to unlap himself. Oh, and we've just lost Ron. I think he's having a bit of technical issues quickly. But yeah, Lars Brookman on the back of Serban to try and get himself out, unlapped. This is the second time that the Daredevils racing team has been behind the car of Serban this race, trying to unlap themselves, and he's making it difficult for Lars as well, just as he did for Matt Richards. And I said earlier that Lars is a quick driver, and he'll get them back up there. And look, he's got right behind Serban again, trying to unlap that car again. Will he unlap himself here? They're both going down the pit straight. We'll see if Lars does anything. No, he doesn't even pull out. He's staying calm. Look at how close Lars is now. Oh, can we get this on the broadcast, please? This is some pretty exciting stuff. Let's just see if we're currently watching on the broadcast one of the, I think that's the feeder sport car, if I'm not mistaken, or the satellite car. I'm not sure. Let me just take a look. No, sorry, it's not the satellite car, man. What am I saying? That is Enzing. Is it not? Yes, that is Enzing that we're watching on the broadcast. But currently, what we want to be looking at is Lars Bruchmann behind the car of Norbert Servan there. Very, very close behind him, trying to unlap himself. And they're also coming down the start-finish straight now, and Bruchmann really, really close behind him. Let's hope he doesn't try anything funny here into this into turn one. It's just following him. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier as well, when we were talking to Scott. It's just following him around the circuit. I think he's probably gaining a bit of time as well, and catching the slower cars and trying to unlap himself as well. But he is definitely trying to get it around Servan. I mean, look at how close he is. Oh, he's really close, and I think he might just, because they're going into the carousel now. You guys don't have a visual, but I'm trying to just. Oh, you might get a visual now. But Bruchmann really close now, behind Servan's car. Really, really hounding the back of that car, really trying to get past. And now we have him on the broadcast. We have this little battle going on here. Really exciting stuff from Lars Bruchmann here. Look at this up the hill. Bruchmann again getting very, very close, but he doesn't try and overtake. Now that's the important thing. He knows that if he takes him out, he's bound to get a penalty because he is a lap down and they're not racing for position. Let's see. If he does manage to pass Servan, Servan's still quite quick in some sectors. Or Servan, I think, was there contact? No, there wasn't contact. Yes, there was. He just tapped the back of Van der Brink in that Porsche there. But yeah, if Bruchmann does get past Servan, then the blue flag rule will apply, and he will have to give the position over anyways because he's not fast enough to get around him and to pull away quickly. But well, he got close to getting around him there, as Servan made a bit of a mistake. Bruchmann obviously trying to get this Daredevil's car out of last place, of course. And he can only do that if he unlaps himself. So, well, yeah. Now going through the carousel here, look at how close Bruchmann gets. But using his experience as an experienced sim racer, he knows that he can't get too close. He knows he can't pull any funny moves or anything. And look at how low his car is as well compared to Servan's car. The sparks flying off the rear of that LMP2 car there, that Porsche Evo Spider there, that Daredevil's car. And I must say, I think Lars is the guy who has set the quickest. Oh, it's getting impeded a bit there by Dahan. No, he's gone straight through, that's fine. But I think Lars is the guy who has set the quickest lap time in that Daredevil's racing car for the team with a 1 minute 50.8. And, okay, no, never mind. Yeah. These P2 cars, I must say, the fastest LMP2 time in this race so far is a 149.7. Now, in practice this morning, there was a 148. So these cars can go a whole lot quicker, but bear in mind they're on a race setup, and they're on race fuel, etc. So a lot of these cars are also fueled filled to the brim with fuel so that they can obviously do the full stint and try and get past Roy Magnus there, one of our commentators for today, driving his Porsche. That is, of course, is the same Porsche that was driven by Osserklint and Zweit. But yeah, I was saying these race setups really, you can see about the target lap times here would be about 150 or a 151 with a race setup. And well, Lars he seems to be doing it even behind Serban. He seems to be doing that quite comfortably. But the quickest time, yeah, and the quickest time in the P1 is a 1:45.1, and that I suspect is also on a race strategy. But compare the P1 time, the 1:45.1 to the 1:49.7. That's only a 4.5 second difference between the P1s and the P2s, and that's not that bad at all. And James Johnson for THR has just gone instead of 1:48.4. He is now, yeah, as we said earlier, the THR car is now racing again. And oh, Brugman right behind Serban there, giving him a bit of a push down the start-finish straight as they go past Viers there. Will Brugman back off a bit? Because if they tag each other here, that could be disastrous. Yeah, Brugman using his experience there to back off. But definitely showing Serban that he's much quicker in some parts of the circuit. Let's see if they can get past Nieuwenhof there quickly. Nieuwenhof, of course, the guy who disconnected. Okay, I've just received some information from one of the Daredevils drivers that Matt Richards was actually the guy who set that 150.8 and not Lars Brugman. So, yeah, good on you, Matt. And Matt Richards, of course, is the guy who keeps winning all of our cookies in our race department games during the RDLMS. Some of the races that we've had before, we've had some of these games and we give out, well, cookies. Of course, they're not real, but we like to think they are. And Matt certainly does, because he wins all of them. But look at how close Brugman is here behind Serban. Some really good racing. Even though they're not for position, they're really racing hard with each other. And that's so good to see that these guys are actually racing. And this is pretty much what the RDLMS is all about, is racing hard for your full stint. I mean, you don't want to be racing alone. It's not fun or as fun racing alone for your whole 2-hour stint as it is racing against somebody else. From previous experience, you get really bored and you actually lose more focus sitting by yourself doing your own lap times for the full 2-hour stint than when you're actually racing somebody. And also, we just got a tweet from RaceDepartment.com, and they're saying a big kudos to all the commentators. Well, thank you, Race Department, and thank you guys actually for organizing these amazing leagues and races and events. All your work is much appreciated, and we know how much goes into planning something like this, and it would not be possible if you guys didn't work as hard as you did. So I've seen in the chat, Jimmy Hughes says he does not mind what class he's racing, guys. So he is open. He is definitely looking for a drive now. He's made it public. And, well, Leon Sharman has just given him sort of invited him. He says he's going to run his own Le Mans 24-hour team and have people race in minis. So he can get Jimmy Hughes on board. That's quite funny there. I'm sure Jimmy will still be able to beat someone in the field in the mini. And we are still watching Lars Bruchmann here, and it seems now he's still behind Serban, but he's dropped off just a little bit from him. And I think there's a leader coming through. Is that Toll? Is Toll a leader? I'm not sure. Let me just check. No, Toll is definitely not a leader. He's in a GT1 car. Who's trying to get around Bruchmann there? Let me just take a look. Oh, Van Doren gone very wide there. Nearly lost the car and went into Bruchmann down the hill there. That was quite close from him. And Bruchmann right behind Serban again. Familiar sight for Bruchmann for most of his stint. It's Bohoric that's behind Bruchmann now. Bohoric trying to get through here. And let me just take some time off from watching the broadcast or the stream quickly, just to go and take a quick look at the standings here on my live timing screen. So in first place we have SRVN, Sim Racing Vereniging Nederland, with Jan Wim Ensing. And they're almost a whole lap ahead of the RC France racing team with Rafael Bohoric in that P1, who's in second place in his class, in second place overall. Then Fidersport Poland is in third place with Adam Musarski in that car. They've only done 185 laps, so they're about 2 laps off the leaders. We then have in fourth place Satellite Racing with Alex Sturm, and Simco Hungarian with Norbert Serban, of course, who's being chased down by Lars to get unlapped. They're leading the P2 class, his Simco Hungarian team. Then SRS with Ben Warren, who's on the same lap, I must say, as Simco Hungarian, and they're about 7 seconds behind, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have Hell Racing Team Hungary with Gabor Nemchak, or Nemchek. I can't remember how we said it in the last broadcast. We were told how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I'm destroying it or not saying it right. Next we have Ian Pollard in the LDDT endurance team. Then with No Limit Motorsport in 5th place in their class, in the P2s and 9th place overall. No Limit Motorsports with Tobias Sonnenberg. Oh, he's actually disconnected. He's disconnected. What's happened to Sonnenberg? That's not good for that team, as they're 4 laps behind the first place P2 team. That's not good at all. That means there are only 4 LMP1 or 5, counting THR, 5 LMP1 teams that are racing today, or that are still racing right now. Back to the standings. UKNL Racing in 6th place in class and 11th place overall, with Carl Middleton at the wheel, 172 laps done by them. Then we have LSD Racing in 12th overall, 7th in class. Daredevils Racing Team with Lars Bruchmann, of course, chasing down the Simco Hungarian team, Norbert Serban driving that Simco team car. Bruchmann chasing them down. And Bruchmann is in the Daredevils car in 8th place in class, which is last in the LMP2s, last of the running teams, should I say, and 13th overall. Then in the first of the GT1 cars is No Limit Motorsports, with Robert Goodicke in the car there. We then have F1 Cars Racing with Bram Bielen, who's 15th overall, rc.co.uk with Andre Amelo, and Roaring Pipes Maniacs with Maciej Pazniki. They're a lap down on the 3rd and 2nd in class in GT1s, and second and first, second and third, first and second are about a lap apart from each other. So Robert Goodicke is about a lap ahead of Brad Bielen. So then Rare Endurance Team 5th in class for the GT1s and 18th overall. Robin Toll is at the helm of that car. Disturbed Motorsports with Johan van Doren. Sim Racing for Holland, Johan Nieuwenhof. We then have Brigata also with Frank Zveers, who is 1st in the GT2 class and 21st overall. Sim Racing for Holland, we have Wilfred van der Brink, and RMI Motorsports Roy Magnus, who is our other commentator for today's event. Sim Race Vereniging Nederland SRVN, Gilles de Haan, racing in that SRVN car, is 4th in class in the GT2s. We then have a GT1 car, who's actually running for UKNL, Brian Fairley. They've only done 153 laps. They're about at least 12 laps behind, or Yeah, more than that, but 14 laps behind the first place GT1 car, which is not good for them. And then, of course, we have THR in 27th overall. Their LMP1 car, driven by James Johnson, 146 laps instead of the 188 that they would have done, I suspect, if they had kept it on track and been able to stay in first position as they were leading earlier. They're now in 27th overall. That's not good for them. The last of the running cars is Team Mars Motorsport. James Reed is the driver in that Team Mars Motorsport car, 28th overall and 6th in class. So 28 drivers out of the 31. So we haven't had too many disconnects or too many sorry, I'm trying to find the word. Too many crashes or exits from this race. Not too bad. But now, of course, back to the broadcast, and we are currently watching. Let me just get there. Sorry. Oh man. We're currently watching Carl Middleton in the UKNL car. Yeah. He's trying to chase down Pollitt, and this is actually for. Is this for position? Yes, I think it is. Ivan Pollitt and... No. Where is UKNL? Carl Middleton. Yes, it is actually for position. No, it's not. No, it's not. Ivan Pollitt is 6 laps ahead of Carl Middleton. But yeah. Carl Middleton obviously trying to get around Ivan Pollitt. Clearly quicker than him. There we go, Roy Magnus just letting the 2 LMP2 cars go there. So Carl Middleton trying to unlap himself. And Lars Brookman is actually chasing Carl Middleton. He's actually, wow, Lars Brookman has made up a lot of time in this stint. Of course, they lost quite a bit of time with one of their previous drivers driving. Some lap times that were off their target. And Lars has actually come back and sort of saved. Not saved because, I mean, they're still in last place, but I mean, trying to at least save what he can for this team in today's event. And I'm now joined by Bradley Vanyan. Hello, Bradley.
Are you? Are you joined?
What am I? Am I? Really?
I don't know. Hello. I won't be
How
here
have you
for...
been enjoying this broadcast, man?
Well, I'm not going to be here for too long, but yeah, it seems to be a pretty good...
Bradley, of course, was the commentator alongside me and a couple of others in the first 2 events, or first 3 events, should I say?
Yeah, I think it's been really good so far. I mean, some very good and very close racing. It got some pretty good battles going on. We've had some pretty good P2 battles going on, including one that I believe is currently getting on screen. You know, we've had there was Daredevils and the Hungarian team earlier as well. So quite a lot of good teams. And we also have another good person who just joined.
I am here. I'm surprised that you're here. Hello.
No, I only just joined. I was only joined about a minute and a half ago, and I'm not going to be here for long.
Ah, I see.
I was keeping Xavier company.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Where's everyone else gone?
Roy is currently driving.
Right.
Ron disconnected earlier. I don't know. I think he just had some technical issues. He said some cars were jumping around in R-Factor and he just disconnected.
Right. I know that Scott had to go to another commentary job.
Yeah. Scott
So that
Woodward
would
is
leave us
now commentating for FSR.
Yeah.
And
There we
James
go.
Kirk is now currently with us.
Yes.
And as-
Hello. Nice to see you again. I will say I did join a little bit earlier. And I did say I was only joined for half an hour. hour, but I think for 15 minutes of that half an hour, Scott was going through the timing, so I couldn't really say much. But yeah, I am back. I'll probably be with you until about 10ish, I think, maybe. That's when I was planning the shift to be
that
anyway.
sounds about right.
Might be able
Well-
to stretch
Well,
it
we're
until
currently
11.
looking, just to fill you in quickly, James, we're
Very
currently looking at Carl Middleton and Lars Bruchman. Lars Bruchman, I don't know if you have been following it all, but the Daredevils team is now in dead last.
I have noticed,
Ken
yeah.
Hunter was setting some lap times that were a little bit off their target lap times. Now, Matt Richards had set the quickest lap time and was setting some pretty quick lap times before he had handed the car over to Ken. Ken, halfway through the race, had spun and been hit, unfortunately. Or he hadn't spun by himself. He had been sort of turned around by one of the cars that were a little bit too eager to get around him. And yeah, so Carl Middleton going. Whoa, he's off.
Oh dear, he's well off.
But so Ken sort of didn't have a good stint the last time around. And then Lars Bruchman, Samuel Fuller took over from him for about an hour and tried to save what he could, and now Lars is in the car and trying to unlap himself, and he's actually doing a pretty good job. He's getting up there. Currently,
from what I've seen, there's been a lot of GT guys who've been, complaining about overtaking at the kink. I think it is.
Definitely.
And
I've seen that as well in the chat.
Is that presumably where he came to grief?
No, it was actually down one of the hills into one of the hard braking points.
Right.
It was quite difficult, I think, for the P2 car following him to judge. But it still happened.
That's not good at all.
This race so far, Bradley and James, I think this race is probably the best. It has produced some of the best racing, some of the best battles we've seen so far. I mean, there's been battles almost all throughout this race, whether it's been to unlap a car or for position.
Completely. I mean, I've noticed that there's been a lot more talking about the racing as opposed to going off on things such as like James Kirk's, what's James Kirk having for dinner or something. And by the way, if we want to reinitiate that, you can guess what I did have for dinner. So I don't know, put your things in the chat box below, we'll come back to later. But yeah, I have noticed that No Limit Motorsports... Oh, they're back in the lead. Oh, so now I noticed in the early stage of the races, I was like, they're not in the lead? What are they doing? And they are back in the lead.
One thing you have missed in your absence is THR really had a really bad stint. One of their drivers really burned the car, but now they're back about 14 laps behind the leaders, THR. James Johnson's in the car. Real commitment from them, actually, getting back in.
Well, who's the next P1 class up the road? It's No Limit Motorsport. I mean, 26... Well, actually, mind you, No Limit's 26 laps up the road, but they have disconnected.
Yeah, I've just seen that as well.
So,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, for THR, I did see Chris, who was, I think, the last driver before James came back in and took the car out again. He was on the chat. I mean, he was having a bit of a discussion with Bram, and sort of realized, well, let's actually commit to this, because they were out for quite a while. They were out for about nearly an hour or half an hour. Or so.
You could see like you're 40 laps behind. That's a huge amount of time. I mean, if we're looking at the average P1 lap time and being a 1:45, 1:46, here's my trusty calculator.
Well, at the moment, it's not really 1:46s. At the moment, they're doing 1:48s, 1:47s because of course, it's not like quali times. Quali times, I think, were a lot faster. But I was actually speaking about that earlier. If you look at the quickest P2 time, it's only 4.5 seconds off the fastest P1 time.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're not going that much quicker.
Well, yeah, this track, it's quite technical. You've got many technical. In the technical corners, the P1 cars just don't have that much of an advantage over P2 Ali in a way that I think the P2 cars actually have a small advantage over the P1 cars in the slower corners, as they are better under braking, for example.
I think they're more stable overall as well. I mean, I'll go back to my point of before I even started commentating on this championship, I had to go in all the different types of cars there, and I'd happily drive a P2 car. I'd happily drive a GT2 car. The other, the higher level ones are just, I don't know, they're a bit wily for me, especially with my DualShock 3. But while we've been chatting, I'd like to welcome back Ron Squire into the room. Good to have you back, sir. Thank you very much, James. Sorry everyone if I've gone off a bit. Just the connection on my end has gone a little bit haywire recently, but I am back, hopefully, for the last couple of hours of the race.
Okay, well,
That's good.
as you've all got people to talk to, I'm gonna head off. As I said, I wasn't planning to be here for long.
Oh, Bradley.
So bye, James, Ron, and Bradley.
Alright,
Bye,
thanks
bye.
for joining us, Bradley.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Thanks for joining us, Brad.
Good luck.
Right. Another thing that you've missed, James, is
Yep.
that we've been trying to get a drive for one of Race Department's double champion in some of the front wheel drive series, and that's Jimmy Hughes. And he's openly sent out he's openly said in the chat that he wants a drive, and he's very interested in doing the RDLMS.
Well, what I'll say is, from what I've seen of Jimmy Hughes as a driver overall, and I think I've just go across sim racing leagues, I've seen him in Touring Pro Series, and I have seen him indeed here in the Mini Championship, which was the first series which I commentated as a lead commentator, or not my first commentary debut at all, but he is a very, very good driver. And the fact that he's openly saying, I want to join a team, any team, come and get me teams, that's a very good offer, and I think that people should be taking that very seriously and getting in there as quick as you can.
So there you go. You haven't just heard it from me, you've just heard it from James Kirk as well.
He's extremely good. And you know what, Jimmy? I would think that you should definitely look to broadening your horizons to lots of other series. There's plenty of series across multiple leagues, you know yourself out there, so just go around and see what you can find, because there's loads of offer in sim racing, and I was very surprised when I first discovered the land of sim racing when was it? I think it was May last year or something, and that was my driving debut. Crazy to think how big it is. It's like a whole little community in just a segregated part of the internet.
It really has grown over the past 2 years or so. I really only professionally, so to say, got introduced to with my racing. Introduced to it in December. I was doing little leagues every now and then on some of the lesser, the less popular sims. And I've actually started enjoying it a lot more. And this community is really great. Everybody's so helpful, and it's just such a great community, I must say, as well. And it's really grown for me over the past 6 months. As a professional sim racer, so to say, it's really grown over the past 6 months as something. It's growing into something much bigger than what it ever was.
Oh, completely. I mean, you look at I know it's sort of a console game to look at, but you look at Gran Turismo Academy, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got people going from sim racing, if you can call it that, with Gran Turismo, to real life racing, and it's not even like these people are doing badly in real life racing. These guys are dominating championships.
Well, we've got one of them in the Le Mans this weekend again.
We do.
And it's a bit like in the FSR World Championship back in 2010. Some of the top drivers actually had a chance to drive a Auto GP car at the end of the season with Colonia Motorsports. It was, So it's like the virtual racing meets the sim racing. That was the slogan back in 2010, and GT Academy is just basically the same thing, although for PS3 drivers only.
But now the other thing I must say is, the sim racers become real racing drivers. But the other thing is, real racing drivers become sim racers.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, you look at, I think Matt Strand is a sim racer, but he originated.
We had, just to name drop a little bit, RDA has had a whole bunch of people. We've had people like Nicholas Hamilton at RD. Calvin van der Linde is now in Julian van der Vat recently has just come in. He's a World Series karts driver. Has recently just come in to Race Department as well. Rubens Barrichello does, and Felipe Massa, I believe, also. But Rubens Barrichello is an active member of the GTR Brazil League. So yeah, I mean, these guys don't only enjoy real racing, they enjoy sim racing as well. And it's so cool to be able to make these kinds of connections to each other and to network with people like this. It just brings up a whole bunch of opportunities for people who would like to get into racing, you know? Being able to network with some real racing drivers.
We've also had Stoffel Van Dorn here as well.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, he used to be an FSR.
Yeah. Now part of the McLaren Young Driver
Yeah.
program. You know, so something quite
Surprisingly.
incredible. Yeah, it's really incredible. And what I will say though is, it's not just for those looking to get into motorsport either. I mean, I say now, I've got my handy DualShock 3 controller with me, and I'm making my debut in an open wheeler competition next Tuesday. And although I must say that with a controller, sim racing is 10 times harder because the tyre wear's 10 times worse, and it's all going trust me, it's open to everyone, and even the likes of keyboard users can find their way in sim racing as well. It's really great that so many different people come to the same place.
I still remember before even having my Logitech G27, trying to play F1 2010 with the keyboard. That was really interesting.
I will actually go on to the notes of wheels actually, because I know Jimmy Hughes is looking actively for a team. I'm actively looking for a wheel, because I've decided enough is enough with tyre wear. I'm fast without, I'm fast over one lap. I want to be fast over multiple laps, and so I want a wheel. And the thing is that I don't want to spend too much on a wheel, so I don't really care so much about force feedback. And I know that a lot of people will say, send me straight to, say, the Logitech GT or the G25, maybe the GT Force or the G27.
Those are some really awesome wheels. I'm just saying.
I'm on the same story with you, James. Right? I've got a cheap wheel with me. It's called the Datal Super Sports 3 times wheel. It's great for the PC. It's good for the Xbox and PS3. It's got no force feedback, and it has it has F1 style shifters with a shifter stick next to it, and it only costs about around £35 to £39.
Honestly, the one I'm actually looking at is because, see, I've got a £30 Amazon voucher from my birthday last year to use, and I've been deliberating on what to use on. I mean, I could have used it on an Elgato. I could possibly use it on the PS4, which is coming out hopefully later this year. I probably want to buy that, but I've been looking at a wheel specifically, and just in the last 10 minutes as it happens, it's called the Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 wheel.
I've not done much research on that. I know that Fnatic actually has some really good some really good wheels that are less pricey than the club sports.
I'd like to know your opinions in the chat room. Have any of you got a cheap Fanatec, or what sort of wheels can you recommend? I'm trying to look for ones on Amazon so I can use a voucher. And really, I'm not going to be going over £50 for a wheel. So there's your job for a little bit as we go on. I've noticed the Team Mar Motorsport's still going as well.
Yes,
which is
yes,
good to
that
see.
is true.
I'm very happy that they're going. I'm always a supporter of Team Mar, because I want them to get to the end so badly. Yeah, only with James Reed in the car, and hopefully they will make it. But
He's actually been in there for quite a while. James Reed and Ruben Martins did some very long stints during this race, I must say.
Speaking of racing, let's get back to the today's Le Mans race, 10-hour race around the Road America. It's we're now nearly up to only 4 hours left. Now, here are the standings at the moment. We do apologise if we've gone off track. we are trying random stuff, but anyway, the leader at the moment, Jan Wim Insing, has nearly done in 200 laps, and he's done 7 stops, and he's still leading. Second place is Jonathan Dion in the RC France Racing Team, third place is Feeder Sport Poland's Adam Marzaki. Then we've got Satellite Racing's Alex Sturm, who's actually done a fantastic job as a satellite only driver at the moment. Norbert Serban is in 5th. 6th is Gabor Namsak. And there's Oscar Hardwick, who's back in the SRS Racing after Ben Warren. Jan Pollet is in the LDDT Endurance team, with Bjorn Pettersson behind him in 9th. And in 10th place, just rounding out the top 10, is Stephen Poblos in the LSD Racing.
Right then, so looking back, actually, you know what? I want to go back actually to a point which Xavier was making earlier about how much time THR lost from their stop. And I know that Bradley was adamant that the time's getting slower and stuff, but even on a 1:45 per lap for every other driver, they would have lost about 75 minutes, more than an hour.
Oh, that is a lot.
But you know they've got the chance now to catch up at least to poor old No Limit Motorsports, who've fallen to 18th in the standings overall. They're in the midst of the GT1 class, is almost going into GT2 now.
So there is a silver lining there for them at least.
Well, let's see. THR's on 158 laps. No Limit's on 176. So plenty of time to go. But I also see we've got a couple of retirements there in the it's just Core Motorsports and poor old 1066 Racing. I heard they've done quite well in qualifying this time around, and they're only 26 laps in, and they still haven't been able to get in. Oh, that's a shame.
Right, so we got a question on the Twitter from XXVII Racing saying, is the field maxed out?
I don't believe the field is maxed out. I think we've seen more people in P1 for sure. And I think we've seen more in GT2 as well, so I don't think the field is maxed out, but at the same time, I think there's a specific procedure you have to go through in order to be in the Race Department Le Mans series. So if you are interested, get along to Race Department and check out all the information on that. Yeah, so
okay,
if you really want to do it, you can go into Race Department and PM one of the admins, Marco Bale or Marcel Offermans, if you want to run in this Le Mans event. It is open, I think, to more teams than what are currently in the series.
All the merrier as well.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at close battles going on at the moment. Can anybody find one that's going on?
Well, we're currently watching Jan Pollitt, and I can't see any close gaps at the moment. Just a whole bunch of people passing each other, really.
So the closest one we can find at the moment is Jan Pollitt trying to pile the pressure on Oscar Hardwick. Let's just have a look at that.
As he just goes past its fight quickly.
So Jan Pollitt just lapping the RMI Motorsport car of Eric de Veit, who is also back in the racing seat, and albeit back down at the back of the grid.
So it is always a problem I find with endurance racing is that when you get to these late stages. Well, it's not even late stages, it's sort of a middle stage where there's just nothing going on, really. And although it's interesting to look at the laps, I would think that, realistically, one of the battles to be watching is how much THR can do, and eating to that gap, obviously.
Yeah, that's so true, actually.
No Limit Motorsport, because that's the one which you've got to watch out for. Everyone else is sort of going around. But you look at the P1 class.
This goes back to what I was talking about when I was still alone, when I was just blabbing to myself. You don't want to race your full 2-hour stint by yourself. It really gets boring, and that's when you really start losing your focus. For me, racing against someone for your full 2-hour stint is a lot more fun and helps you focus a bit better. But that's just me. I mean, people have different sort of ways and ways in which they work. But I mean, for me, to race someone for your full 2-hour stint, that's amazing.
Well, it gives you a target, doesn't it?
Exactly.
In a sense, it's so easy just to lose concentration and you make a mistake somewhere along the line. When you've got someone in front of you, or even someone behind you, where you think, okay, if I keep on edging out lap per lap, I could possibly catch this guy, or, well, there's somebody coming up behind me, I've got to speed up quickly. It makes not only the racing more interesting for us, the spectators, to watch, but definitely for the drivers themselves. And I noticed a bit of smoke, actually, around James Reed. I'm not sure whether someone's gone off. I'll have a little... I'm not sure whether it was just a lockup or something, but I think it might have been a lockup. I hope it was. I don't want anyone else going off.
Especially Team Mark.
Oh no, Team Mar's fine. I've been keeping my half back to screen firmly on Team Mar to try and see how their progress is going, and they're fine. Yeah, I think it's just lockups.
Going back to this thing with battling someone from battling someone for the full 2 hours. A lot of these teams are saying, well, it's an endurance race, you don't have to race everybody every lap. Yeah, that's right, but I mean, look at where some of these teams are now. They're about 2 or 3 laps down. Is it still just an endurance race? Are you sure you don't want to, get a kick up the arse and just race,
I don't know.
Some of these people are more than about 20 laps behind, and they're still racing. This is just unbelievable.
But I guess that in the end, that is the main point in an endurance race. Not necessarily where you finish overall, but out of all the various forms of motorsport you've got, this type of professional motorsport's very much about the taking part. It's about the fact that you have made it to the end of a 10-hour race. And let's not put it past any of these drivers. You'll see them making mistakes. You'll see them going off track. You may even see them crashing. But at the end of the day, the ones that get to the end have got to the end on stints which most racing drivers here could not even dream of doing. I, for sure, certainly could not see myself doing endurance racing because I simply don't have the concentration. I'm someone who goes for short stint racing as opposed to this. I can't keep my concentration going for more than 20 laps at a time.
Yeah, we've just been joined by Scott Webber. Scott, what do you have to say now?
About what?
About anything.
Well,
Life.
Oh, my dinner was nice.
Oh, hey, cool. What did you have for dinner?
Lars is in the pits. You do know that. There's no driver swaps going on or anything, eh?
Oh, Lars is in the pits. Yeah, no, there are a couple of people in the pits.
Yes, we're up in the game a bit. But I'm not giving
you're not meant to be driving now, are you?
No, not yet. My stint is the last stint, but we're up in the game and we've been discussing tactics. Just to edge closer to second to last position, which I believe is this LSD Racing, who are our main rivals.
I see Hunter's just got in the car.
Yep, cool.
Yes, Kanana's in the car, and we are indeed on the same lap now as LSD Racing, who are our main rivals. And for the next 3 hours and a half, you will be seeing quite a few driver changes. That's to keep it quite fresh for all of us, so we can be on the maximum attack.
I will say, sorry, go on.
No, go on, you say.
I'm just thinking back to Sebring, where your mid-race tactics really proved to be effective, and I think that if there is any team that's going to rise up the ranks in these last few hours, it is going to be Daredevils, because we know that a lot of you are scheming tacticians and obviously you don't want to share the main information here out on the stream, but clearly what sort of mindset is everyone going to have to be in? Are you thinking conservative or are you thinking all out for the last 3 hours essentially?
All out. You can't be conservative, especially if you're at the back, and with the amount of trouble we've had, we've had a 6-minute penalty at the start, and then we had a major crash, I think, as you saw in the live stream. So that's set us back quite a bit, and we were 2 laps behind at some point, but now we've catched up, and we know we have the pace to be there, but the stuff that's been happening, it has just been unfortunate for us. And like as the race is going along, we're looking at the gaps of the times to our main rivals, and we're constantly changing our tactics just to keep up with that and to try and get
Oh,
ahead.
is that sorry? Is that Ken in the garage now?
Who in the garage?
Yeah, Ken's
think it
just gone
is.
into the
I think it
garage. He
is.
started reversing or something, and now he's in the garage.
I'll be right back.
You come back soon. Yeah, it is indeed Ken Hunter in the garage, and Scott
So they've
Webber
obviously had
going
a
off to.
driver swap problem or something, because the car did start
Yeah.
moving, and then all of a sudden just went into
Ye-
the pit.
He is fully indeed in the garage. He's not even a pit stop as such.
So that is now an
And-
extra 7 minutes to wait, and that is
Oh,
the
dear
whole
me.
gap gone.
Well, I was going. Hello, who has joined the
Hello.
channel again? Hello.
It's me.
What is going on with Ken Hunter?
We've been having a bizarre problem, and it happened in practice yesterday. When we're doing a driver swap, and once the initial swap has taken over, Ken's been getting a problem. Well, it's happened to Lars as well. When they change over, well, they have no revs. You can't change gear. You're effectively in neutral and you can't do nothing. You're trying to change gear, but it won't change. It's a very bizarre problem, but he's just got it again.
That's harsh luck. Obviously, we were talking
Not
with
going
Xavier. No, Xavier was saying that that's going to be 7 minutes lost. I mean, presumably you were talking about having lots of driver changes, keeping things fresh. Does this yet again spark debate for another, change of plan? Because clearly you don't want this to happen again.
It's not been happening with any of the other drivers. I honestly don't know what it is. His game is up to date like ours, but it seems to be happening with him. I don't know why. He's doing exactly the same as us. What we're doing, you're keeping the revs there when you're changing driver, and everything's been working fine. But it's just been bizarre. It's only happened this round. It's not happened in Silverstone or Sebring. It is extremely bizarre, and I've not heard of any other driver in this league that's had this problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, we look at all this bad luck and things with the pit stop, with the, obviously with Ken's issue now, with the bad crash. But I will say this: Road America could very well have been a 6-hour race. And it was only because, obviously, admins are unable to attend the 6-hour race that Road America has become the TVA race, the 10-hour race. So, surely that's, it could be a good omen. You've still got, 3.5 hours left before the end of the race. So, there's a lot that can happen in those 3 hours.
Absolutely, don't rule us out. Absolutely, we'll be fighting back, and we'll be coming back strong. And we got a strong lineup for the next 3 hours, and we are going to be aggressive. So watch out, LSD Racing.
And of course, let's not forget, we do have one more round after this. Of course, the infamous 24 hours of Le Mans, and I've been watching with intent the Daredevils, and there's always been this aura of, you're so confident, and it's all been building up to this Le Mans. So even if things go pear-shaped here today, do you think your chances of doing well at Le Mans will be as great as they have ever been across the last 3 rounds?
Yes, I got a feeling we're going to be the strongest at Le Mans. All of us have experience there, and it's been in the past month or so we've actually done racing there. We do have a setup ready, and we know what target we've got to aim for, just to be at the front. So it is going to go very good. I've done a 2.4 hour stint there 2 weeks ago, and I won the race. So we are going to be very strong there, definitely.
It's fascinating how early in advance some of the teams are actually taking Le Mans, like yourself. I mean, the likes of drivers, which you'll see around, will probably even go only a week before the race. But this is months in advance, and that's really interesting to see. And Xavier's shouting at me in the text chat, "What's going on?"
Right, guys, can I just interrupt you there? There's a bit of a battle between Eric DeVite and DeHaan.
Oh,
Dale
that's
DeHaan.
is that what that was what you were shouting at me, was it, Xavier?
Yeah, Fighter just got past the Han on, down that straight. I didn't want to interrupt you guys because that was actually quite an interesting conversation we were having. We can go back to it now, but yep, the Han doesn't seem to be coming back at Fight.
I hope
Well,
he does.
well, he could be closing up. He could be closing up.
Well, Tavite's a very aggressive driver, we know that for sure. DeHaan, I don't know DeHaan as much, to be honest. I've not been following him as closely, and that's, well, that might be some reason. But I do imagine that he'll be in a bit of grief here, because of course he's got Johan Neuenhoff in the Corvette behind him, and he's going to have to move over, presumably, to let him through. Of course, actually, this brings us on to the subject of traffic, and I know that across all three events now, there's been traffic issues in the race department on the Mon Series.
This one as well, we've also had a couple of discussions with some of the drivers, and also with Bram, about some of the instances and incidents that have happened so far in this race. Of course, Ken got taken out by one of the P2s following him. Tveit had a bit of an incident early on in the race with, and so did sorry, I forgot what his name is now. Oh, that is so bad. But yeah, some of the GT cars had instances and incidents earlier on in this race that could have been avoided, and a lot of these instances and incidents are just because, well, the faster drivers are just getting way too impatient.
It's I can imagine when it's an issue when there's an equal field, but when it's a field like endurance, when the difference in class is huge, when it is literally almost, when they are different leagues of car, pretty much all in the same race, I think that it's
exactly.
Yeah, driver patience is one of the things. I will say though that the move from Eric Tveit on Gil DeHaan might have been less exciting than you think, because Gil DeHaan is still a lap ahead.
Oh really?
He is, yeah.
Well, then Tveit has just sort of unlapped himself, but he's going very fast, so maybe he can do it again. Look at how the big gap he's got on DeHaan now.
Have a look. Yeah, Gil DeHaan is definitely, he's definitely ahead. But I'm looking at my R-Factor live screen now, and that Porsche has seen better days for sure. It's missing its front bumper. It's burning its tyres all over the place. And I can only imagine what poor things that car has been through. But if Tvite's able to keep up the current pace which he has got, which is rather mighty to be said, very impressive for the GT2 class, then could very well be catching up with the likes of Gil DeHaan.
Yeah.
And this is, going back to your point on traffic, I do think that patience is another thing we should have to have as a key quality here in endurance racing, because there's no point in going flat out all the time, because otherwise you're going to burn the tyres, or you're just going to force yourself into mistakes. It's just not a good quality to have, being impatient.
Just like we said earlier, I mean, you got to have that balance between, okay, this is an endurance race, and okay, I need to go quickly as well, otherwise I'm going to end up 6-7 laps down on the leaders, and that's not what you want.
Alright then, so let's give you a little update on the fastest lap time, shall we? We haven't done that in quite a while. So the fastest lap time so far in the P1 category comes from, as always, Speed Sport Poland. Nikodem Wisniewski, oh god, it's another one. Wisniewski, I think it is, has got the fastest lap.
Wisniewski.
I think it's Wisniewski. Wisniewski, that's better. He is, his current fastest lap is a 1:45.1, which is an amazing 4/10 faster than James Johnson's 1:45.5, and it's those sorts of lap times which really make you stand out, because sometimes you look at lap times and there's really not much between the drivers overall, but to see a gap that big really just shows a different type of class between Wisniewski and Johnson, for example. Then on to P2. Gap's not so big between the front two. the fastest lap currently from Norbert Saban for the Simco Hungarian team with a 149.7. Only 2/10 ahead of Oscar Hardwick for SRS Racing with a 149.9. So much closer there in the P2 class. We should see possibly a bit more battling there soon as well. GT1, as always, No Limit Motorsport with Christian Fej have the fastest lap time of 159.1. But again, the gap between these, between him and Vincent Stahl of F1 Cars Racing is only 1/10 of a second really in terms of fastest lap. So they get more evenly matched as the field. Oh, I was going to say as the field go down. Not so long in GT2 where the gap has extended to an all-time high of 6/10 with Wilfred van der Brink for Sim Racing for Holland. As I say, a full 6/10 ahead. 2-minute 05.1 ahead of Eric de Wijk for RMI on a 2-minute 05.7. And although these fastest laps in the end mean nothing, I think even in terms of endurance racing, well, across all types of racing we should say, having that fastest lap is just another little trophy which, even if you're not first, second, third, whatever, if you have the fastest lap, it's the same which you could say, I was better than you over one lap to a lot of other competitors in the field. So I think we should also give you a quick update of the standings while we're here as well, the top three from each class. So currently, leading the P1 class is Yanwin Ensing for SRVN. 211 laps done, 7 stops. They're on the same lap and have the same amount of stops as RC France Racing Team with Jonathan Dion currently in the car. So, oh, I think yes. So Ensing's just gone to lap 212. But the fact that they are on the same lap essentially really does show how close the battle for the lead is getting into the final 3 hours here. And of course, third we have Nikodem Wisniewski, but he's a further 2 laps behind. So his chances of moving up is a little bit less. And of course, we've got Satellite Racing there in fourth, a further 4 laps behind.
Can I just say something there? Jonathan Dion is just trying to just lapped Oscar Hardwick.
Then we've got P2, led by Simco Hungarian team. Norbert Saban on lap 204, currently a lap ahead of the aforementioned Oscar Hardwick for SRS. And Simco looking the faster team as well, so possibly could have this one in the bag. And then of course in third we have Hell Racing Team Hungary on the same lap as Oscar Hardwick with Ann Kun back in the car. Although Oscar was just on to lap 204. So must be said, the battle for P2 looking much closer over the podium. Still plenty to occur, and pit stops will have a big impact on the final positions. Then moving into GT1, currently led by, as always, No Limit Motorsport, Christian Fej in the car. 1 lap ahead of the F1 Cars Racing car of Vincent Stahl, and No Limit's looking the faster car as well. So maybe in a similar situation to Simco in that respect. And then 1 lap down is Rare Endurance Team's Robin Toll. And how much he can do in the final 3 hours of this race, we'll have to see as well. And then of course GT2 is currently led by Sim Racing for Holland with Wilfred van der Brink on 180. And of course he's the fastest man out in the field as well at the moment. So the fact that he's leading a full lap ahead of Brigata also, Sander van Schaik currently in the car, is pretty big. And then of course we go all the way back to SRVN GT2 team, Gail de Haan on lap 173 to find our next GT2 competitor. So lots to talk about there. And where is THR? So the battle between THR and the disconnected No Limit Motorsport, James Johnson is only 6 laps behind now, so it's very likely that he will be ahead of No Limit by the end of this race, which is good to see after their lengthy over an hour disconnection early in the race. So I'm just going to head over into the chat now, and I will say once again, we got, of course, what did James Kirk have for dinner? That will always be going while I'm in the commentary booth, so you can have a guess of what I've had for dinner. I guess, well, what clue can I give you? The clue I'll give you is that there are 3 different elements to what I had for dinner. One of them begins with S, one of them begins with B, and one of them begins with C. So if you can have a guess of what that is, then please do go ahead. You'll win an imaginary cookie, as is always the currency in Race Department. Let's just have a look, see whether anyone has been going on about it. I see no one's talked about the steering wheel. I mean, I am interested in. I did notice actually the Nicky DeFrey. You did say that you should get definitely a good wheel, but that's the thing. I don't have the money to buy a good wheel. You know, I'm happy to get one without force feedback, but I'm looking for the best one, you know, for that said price.
We just got a message from Xavier here on the race department TeamSpeak saying back to real drivers being sim races, and he said that Junkadella, which is the Formula 3 and
DTM driver,
British touring motor drivers, was part of us. So
I never realised that Junkadella was part of Race Department. That's pretty awesome, and actually, yeah, he's doing not too badly in DTM. I know it's his first season, but he's already outdoing the likes of Andy Prio. And I must say, I mean, Andy Prio is, to me, a classic example of when a driver should not change category. Of course, multiple World Touring Car champion, and he's regularly being knocked out of Q1 in DTM, and sometimes just shows it's better to stick to your strengths and try and, you know, do other stuff. Okay, so we have a battle for fourth in GT1 between the RPM and Rare teams. I'll just go to that on my live feed, so we should have a little look at it. It should be on the broadcast as well.
It's Robin Toll versus
Pasnicki. Asish Pasnicki, Roaring Pipes. Yeah, they are pretty much neck and neck on track. This is excellent stuff.
Yes.
So, of course,
2 Corvettes, 2 yellow ones, both different liveries, as they go into the 6th corner. As I'm viewing from Pasnicki, and Pasnicki is trying to look on the inside as they go into turn 7. Pasnicki doesn't find an opportunity. They go underneath the bridge into the carousel, and Pasnicki might find an opportunity on the outside. No,
it's difficult.
He does his best to stick to his guns. Now, as they go down towards the king, and he's going. Is he going to take him?
Oh, it's very close, and he's sticking on the inside.
And he's gone up.
He pushed Toll.
And they
No,
go
he's
to
not. He pushed Toll off, right? And I think that he might have had to let him through because he was on the inside there, but he was pushing, and he gets to that point when a racer pushes someone completely off the road where really you got to realise, well, you got to let him through. And Pasnicki is looking like the faster driver, hence why he's caught up in this situation, but
he might have a run down into the. Oh wait a minute!
Toll has pulled in,
and he's going into, and one of them's going into the pits. So Pasnicki takes a place by default.
Yeah, well, that was a good battle while it lasted, but possibly a reason why indeed Toll wanted to come in. Perhaps his tyres were shot, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Rare has a little driver change now, or whether they stick with Toll. He's putting in some decent times, was Toll, but clearly the Roaring Pipes team really wanted that 4th position, and they have got it now after what was a manic last lap for the poor old Rare Endurance team there. Right, okay, we have a thank you news. Thank you to Marco Beale, who has given us a notification that Ken Hunter for the Daredevils is back going again. And so the question is how long, well, 7 minutes behind, and he's going to have a hell of a job to try and catch up to second to last, which is what the team is aiming for. Plenty of traffic to get through at the moment. But he seems to be traversing it quite well, is the South African, so good luck to him. And I do notice a change there, and yep, we do have a change in the Row Endurance team. We have Reinus Jassens. I would think he's Swedish from that surname, definitely Scandinavian, I think. But anyway, he's off and away, back into the race on lap 192 for them currently. I also noticed Middleton's in the pit as well. Hello, South African, yes, to save you.
So we've got 2 South Africans in the race now.
I do love a bit of South African. But yes,
let's
anyway.
go to Zimbabwe way.
No, let's not be stereotypically there.
Sorry.
I'm quite happy to attempt to do accents when I'm in the company of people who I do know will not mind me having to go the accent, but quite frankly, I am terrible at accents. I know other people will not appreciate it, so Let's keep
Yeah.
let's keep stereotypical references to a minimum on this broadcast.
Yes. Sorry.
I just want to say, Scott did tweet that the fastest lap was now for the Daredevil's car has now been set by Lars Brookman on his last. Whoa, Ken, that was close. On his last stint, and it's now a 150.4.
Ken's
So
been closed up by Johnny Bottier, is it? Yeah, Johnny Bottier goes past him. Ken Hunter is not going well.
Yeah, but not
Yeah, like I said earlier in the broadcast, he is missing some of the target times, and well, Scott said he wanted to go a heck of a lot quicker, and this Ken's doing similar times to what he was doing in his previous stint. Now, I'm not sure if the car wouldn't have damage because they've actually pressed escape, and they had to set that for 7 minutes. But yeah, actually, so you know, Ken should have a good car to work with, and he should be able to put down some quicker lap times.
Well, the one problem
maybe he's just not getting in with the flow of the track. Maybe.
Well, no. The thing is, over this lap especially, he's been lapped 3 times by 3 separate cars in 3. Well, I think it was a couple in one corner, then another in another corner, and another in another. And the issue is that he is currently on 196 laps. Now, that inevitably means that every other car which comes past him in the P2 class or the P1 class, which is on more laps than him, will essentially be lapping him. And the blue flag rules will apply. Oh, look! Oh, God! Peter Sport Poland's Wisniewski has lost it there. I think that's on turn 1. I think he went straight on into the gravel, and he's come back into the race now. Thankfully,
let's have a look at the replay, and yes, he has. He has lost it.
Yeah.
And crashed into the barrier.
Oh, did he crash into the barrier?
Yes, he did.
Oh dear. Not good for the Speed Sport Poland team. They're currently in third in class, and there's a good buffer between them and 4th currently, which is Satellite Racing, as there is a good buffer between them and 2nd as well. But they can't be making mistakes like that, otherwise their 3rd will be quickly shuffled down into a 4th. I don't think they'll be troubled by THR much, as they're a bit too far behind now. But Satellite Racing is only a few laps behind, and one costly mistake could see the Polish team fall down out of the podium places.
So I think that I think Nick of them needs to come into the pits to make sure that to repair any damage. It might cost him a place, but remember, this is all about taking part, and it is all about staying consistent. So he needs to come into the pits if he wants to stay out for a bit longer.
Oh, look at this traffic he's coming up to now. It's rather he's going to have to come up.
And now he's got Webber in front of him.
Not Webber. He's got Ken Hunter ahead of him. So Hunter, poor old Hunter, he's been lapped by him before. Oh no, and there's problems there as Hunter tries to get around Gilderhan, and Gilderhan, oh my goodness me, he's all over the place.
James, we just got relating to what you eat for your dinner on the chat. Matt Richards says char grilled bacon on grilled sausages in a toasted bun.
No.
Sorry, Matt, that's not the right answer.
No, that's not the right answer. It's one word per thing. It's one word per thing. So one word beginning with S, one word beginning with B. There's an and in there, and there's one word beginning with C.
I'm gonna...
Yeah.
Okay, so sausages, bacon, and
chicken.
Could it be chicken?
No, it's not chicken.
Okay, so actually, let's get off the subject about food. Okay, you're making me hungry.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Ron.
It's alright. I've already had my dinner anyway. So let's just get on with this, shall we? We just found out that Nowinski has he passed the pit lane?
Yeah. No, he's going on. I reckon that the damage, if there was any, is manageable.
Okay, so despite crashing out a lap earlier, he is still going, and he is keeping on going strong.
Look here to have a look at his lap times. It was last lap time, obviously slower. It was going slower per lap anyway. I noticed that the last 4 laps even, dear me, last 6 laps I saw being on an upwards trend. Coming over the line now, let's see what his latest lap is. It is... I'm on the cross line, there we go. Yep, so he's back on the pace. So it looks like the damage, if there was any, is negligible, as he's gone back into the 148s, which he was comfortably doing before. Well, I do notice actually there's a couple of questions in the race department chat. So does anyone know why the F1 car was so much slower over the last stint? Well, as far as I'm aware, sometimes traffic just gets in the way of things. I mean, Stahl's been pretty consistent over the last few laps. It must be said, all 2 minutes to 2:01s. So it's not like he's going slug's pace necessarily. He's only a second slower than his fastest lap overall, as it is. But sometimes, I mean, you look at Ken Hunter, for example, he'll just get traffic, and especially if he was caught at a bad time where the P1 and P2 field were beginning to overlap him, then clearly that pace was going to be slower anyway. Christopher Matthias asks, so I take it in DTM things haven't been grand for Frio, huh? No, they have not. His highest qualifying position this year has been 10th, I think it was, at Brands Hatch, and even then he still finished in the bottom, I think it was between 15th or 20th or something. He's just not suited to that series. And I don't like to say he's a bad driver, because he's clearly not. He's a multiple world touring car champion. But he should not have left the series if he was so good at it. Right then, so let's have a little look. I don't think anyone's is... Oh no, there is... Ah, right, update. THR has now overtaken No Limit Motorsport.
Yay!
They are now 5th in the standings.
Fantastic.
There's the silver lining.
Yeah, Scuderia Bolas Negro has disconnected though, lap 85 still. I'm not sure whether they're going to be coming back because they're, well, 10 miles behind. But at this rate, Team Mar is going to be overtaking No Limit Motorsport in the next 8 laps.
Go Team Mar.
Yes, beating a P1 team. 2 P1 teams, because 1066 is out as well.
Yeah, 1066 went out really early.
They've not had the best of seasons, have Team Mar. And I don't know why.
Yes, especially now, because they've been caught up. But and looks like Team Mar has been overtaken by 4 cars at once, going into the first corner to be lapped.
1066, bad aim by nature and bad car by nature seems to be the problem, and the two, well, Alan and Bulgin just don't ever seem to have luck.
Yes, and they all originated from the same place, Hastings.
I doubt they do though. I'm sure it's more than Norman reference. I'm sure that Bulgin isn't necessarily an English surname. I've never heard that before. Matt Richards is looking to steal more cookies. He is probably looking to steal cookies. You know what? I think nobody's going to probably get. So what I had was spaghetti bolognese and cheese.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. That was my dinner, and to be fair, I haven't had pudding. I should probably go and get some soon. I know it's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. But what I will say is that one thing I should recommend to. I'm not sure whether it's over in Europe, but UK users definitely. There's these Muller corners, which they do, and I had one for lunch, where you have alcoholic yogurt. It's like strawberry champagne yogurt with sort of like chocolate biscuit bits in the corner. They are seriously the nicest things I've had in the wild for a lunch dessert.
You mad, bro?
No, I'm not. Well, not
I'm
slightly.
wondering why you were slurring your words on this broadcast. How many of those did you have?
5. Oh, I've only got 1, to be honest.
Right, we also got another one from Xavier saying no more onboards. Yes, we will have onboards within the next couple of hours, hopefully. Speaking of hours and such, we're about reaching a couple of more minutes on this part of the broadcast before we switch over to the
Well, we do-
final part.
we do sort of have an onboard here with Henry Fleck.
So guys watching on Race Department, please refresh when it's ready to when this one is finished, and people who are watching on YouTube may as well wait for the signal for the next one to come along the way.
Yeah, we do sort of have an onboard shot here with Henry Fleck.
Okay, I just received a message that we still got 1 hour on this part to go before we switch over to the other one. So we still got an hour left. Let's have a look at the standings for the
Ron, Xavier
for
was
the
wanting to
top
say
three,
something.
shall we?
Ron was Xavier wanted to say something quickly.
Come on.
Oh no, I was just mentioning that we sort of have an onboard shot with Henry Fleck here.
You?
And it's actually a
look at
very
the
good
Honda
shot.
badge.
I mean, look at the quality of this. Well,
It is. It's it's almost like you're actually in the game.
yeah.
Yes. I think we had a look at the top three only a couple of minutes ago. I don't think it's necessary to go through them just now. Perhaps when we have to switch over in an hour, you can have a little look through.
Yeah.
Daredevils though, we got a little tweet in from Daredevils. You can see it if you're over on Race Department. Driver change coming up. So we should be expecting
Already?
a pit from the Daredevils soon. And in fact, they are in the pits now, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see who it is. What's Daredevils?
It's
Ken
not-
Hunt.
Well, Ken Hunter was in the car, so it's going to be... Oh, hello. Oh, no! Oh, no, they're back in the garage.
Oh no.
It's
Not again.
all gone horribly wrong for Daredevils.
This just gets worse and worse for Daredevils today. That means
it
that
really-
Ken Hunter is going to have to sit in there for 7 minutes, go around for
That's
another lap,
Another 7
try
minutes.
the driver swap again, and hope he needs to pray that that works. That is not
Because
going
it-
well for them.
But because from their point of view, it's going beyond joke, isn't it?
Well, it's always frustrating when you have these sorts of issues. It's even more frustrating when technically you should be up the front. And the likes, I mean, you also look at the likes of THR, they're still coming back, you know, from their initial hour stoppage, but it's when you're in the race for this long, it's only one small flaw which sees you put out of the race pretty much for a podium position. This is, but I mean, it's almost like they're just going to be running around to keep in the race now, rather than trying to fight for position.
Right, let's just round up the top three in each degree. So, leading in P1, so the top three in P1 are the following: Rene Hurstrup for the SRVN, Jonathan Dion for RC France, and in third place is FIDE Sport Poland's Nikodem Winarski. Top three in P2 is Norbert Schwan in the Simco Hungarian team, HRT Hungary by Adam Kuhn, and in third place is SRS Racing Acro of Oscar Hardwick. In the GT1, the top three is this Christian Fedge, who's back in the seats. Also is Vincent Stahl in the F1 Cast Racing. And in the RC.co.uk racing team is Valentino Solihak. That's why I said that wrong. Solihak. Yeah. And finally the top three in GT2 is Sim Racing for Holland's Wilfred van der Brink. Then it is Brigata also of Sander van Schlack, and then we've got then in the third place is RMI Motorsport of Eric de Veit. So that is the top three in all three categories at the moment. You are watching Race Department TV for the Race Department Le Mans Series Round 3 of 10 Hours Road America. Anything can happen, and it usually does.
The latest pit stopper we have in the pits is the in the GT2 class, and it's the Satellite Racing GT2 class. Jeff Cable just came in, and I'm not sure. I don't think we're expecting a driver change necessarily.
Well, we haven't seen Ryan Walker in this race so far, so it could be Ryan Walker.
Well, I think Ryan Walker's usually with the P2 lot, and indeed Jeff Cable does go off once again, so he's just in there for a generic pit stop, not a driver change. I'll have a little look for. I'll keep an eye on Daredevils, see when. Oh, Daredevils are going again. So they are off and away, but they are miles behind now, and I don't. Oh, let's have a look.
And Alex Sturm is in the pits. Alex Sturm is in the pits.
Ah, for normal Satellite, right? So yeah, they've got. They're a solid fourth, and they're still, what's it, 5 laps behind Peter Sport Poland. So they've still got plenty of time to go before the end.
Plus, this may give an opportunity for someone else if they want to get into the Satellite P2 car. But my bet is for
My bet
is for Ryan Walker to get into the car because he hasn't been in the race today, so we like to see him to compete in the last couple of hours because Alex Strum has done pretty much most of the race. He's in the Satellite, so I think it's time for someone else. But Alex needs a break, so might as well see who is coming in.
Sorry, Xavier.
Yeah, I was just about to say we can also invite some of the team bosses or some of the drivers of this event to come down into our channel and have a bit of a chat with us about how the race is going, or how you feel you could have done better, or just come give in some general comments, and we can extend that also to some of the guys in the chat if you'd like. Maybe just come and give some comments if you'd like.
And strangely, Alex Strum is still out.
Ken Hunter has crashed into the wall.
Hunter? Oh,
Ken Hunter. Oh my word! It's. I was going to say they are now in the midst of the GT1 cars, and that looks like a front left puncture there. Honestly, this day it could not go any worse for Daredevils, apart from retirement. It's so sad to see these guys, and presuming you're going to be going into the pits once again.
Yes, they are.
Come. Yeah. Well. How on earth do you keep these guys motivated? I mean, at this point, I'd be almost, on the brink of crying. Even it's it's horrible to see these guys.
Worse, rage quitting.
Rage quitting, yeah. Well, it's good to see Ken trying to get it back to the pits, and indeed he is in the pit. So pit stop for another pit stop, South African, but they're just falling back now.
Well, there is something to help you keep you motivated. You just listen to some high tense and high beat music, really.
That keeps me pumped if I'm pumped already, though. This is a completely different situation to me because especially when you've practiced for so long. I mean, you heard what Scott was saying. Practicing up to a month in advance for the 24 hours of Le Mans. Oh, hello! Oh, they've had a successful driver change!
Yeah, Matt Richards is in the car!
Yes!
Matt Richards is in the... Oh!
Go on,
So
Daredevils.
the South African has moved over for the Welshman into the car.
Go on, Matt.
Come on, boyo, let's go!
That gives someone else a chance in the chat to get some cookies.
Yes, exactly. Because Matt Richards usually hoards all the cookies, unfortunately, so... Plenty of cookies to go around. But this is going to be interesting. So, I'll be supporting Team Mar, but also poor old Daredevils. I really hope they do get to the end of this race because it's horrible to see people.
We're always rooting for the underdogs. I've noticed.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and why not?
On Matt Richards has just gone off.
I'm sorry,
No way.
Sorry to say, Matt Richards just gone off just after turn 4.
I think they just swapped over straight after Ken had botched the car. So I think Matt must have damage on there, which might be why he's making some of these mistakes. Oh, he's completely missed the apex there.
Oh, dearie, yeah. I'm going to have a little look in R Factor to see whether I can't get a better view of what's going on. Aesthetically, the car is fixed, but I would reckon maybe it's unfixable suspension damage.
The thing with the R Factor is, they will, when you bring the car into the pits with damage, they fix as much as they can with regards to the aerodynamics and whatever. But the suspension, they don't fix. So suspension damage is something you'll carry out throughout the whole race unless you push escape. And I'm not sure they want to sit there for another 7 minutes.
It was quite a hefty crash into the wall as well as he's coming up to lap to... And oh, there, I see in the pits, Eric de Veit is in there for RMI Motorsports. So Eric de Veit with RMI currently in... I believe they are 4th in class. Yes, they are 4th in class. Only 1 lap behind SRVN. And we got, oh, here we go, we got a battle for position. SRS on hell. Oh, I knew these two were going to come together soon. Oscar Hardwick.
And it's 4th position.
It is 4th position, absolutely.
So Oscar Hardwick is keeping ahead of Adam Kuhn, is it?
Gives you power like hell, says the rear spoiler of Adam Kuhn's car.
And Hardwick try on the outside and
go, whoa! Whoa! That was so close from Hoof Turf there.
Brilliant move from him.
Well, that was... I don't know what to say. That was Hoof Turf for the one car. He had to overtake both of those cars, went straight through the middle. Hardwick slowed up. Adam Kuhn not so much. And Hardwick was really caught unawares there. Kuhn, very cheeky move there to keep a little bit faster than Hardwick.
It's a bit like Schumacher and Hakkinen back in Spa in 2000 when Schumacher goes to the left, Hakkinen goes to the right when they both Aston lapped Zonta going into Lake Kuhn, and Hakkinen just takes the place from Schumacher. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, cheeky move from the Hell Racing team, but I tell you what, I know Oscar Hardwick and he's not going to be happy, and already he's trying to poke his nose up there.
Yeah.
Well, he's... Yeah, I do know that boy, and when someone does a little cheeky move like that, oh, he will fight to all his worth to try and get back. And look, here we've got further traffic in the...
Oh, they've both had contact, they're off!
And oh my goodness me, that was...
Flashing lights and all.
Good. Now Oscar is a real happy buddy now, and the Hell Racing driver is absolutely livid with rage. Oh,
I'm not quite sure what to think of that. There was... Oh, and hello, I do see Oscar Hardwick slowing up, actually.
Yeah, he is slowing down a little bit.
He is going to let Adam Kuhn through, so fair play by Hardwick.
What is he doing?
He's slowing down to let him through.
I think he's thinking, oh, I don't know if that's... I don't think that was good to Adam. I think I should... let him through because we just want to have a proper clean fight, not a proper dirty fight.
Yeah.
So I'll try again.
We'll look at it this way. Yes, the initial problem was caused by traffic in the form of Neuenhof, right? But in the end, it was up to Oscar Hardwick to run into the back of Kuhn. And hence why he's let him through. I don't think there was anything crazy about what Hardwick was doing there, and I think he would have been pulled up for it after the race had he not let Kuhn through, because I think that was clearly his fault for not braking in time. But either way, hopefully he'll give us a bit more of this battle, and you can see already that Hardwick is right onto the back of Kuhn.
And I think they're going to touch again.
I doubt they will. No, they're not going to touch again, I think, especially with traffic.
Let's see if they're sort of trying to bump draft. No, they're not. No.
Oscar needs to go on the inside if he wants to pass. No, he doesn't.
Nah, he's too far back there.
The next car they got to traverse up the road is good old Reed from Team Mara.
Yes! Oh, he's tagged the Porsche!
What are you doing? No! Oh no, James Reed, an innocent.
And the Porsche is also livid, just flashing his light. What has got him into this boy?
Come on, James, get it out of that. Come on, James. Good man.
James,
okay,
please.
so James Reed is back going, thankfully. Oscar Hardwick, well, I really don't know. I can forgive him for the incident earlier on, where
Yeah, that was twice in about 2 laps that he's done something like that. Yeah.
And I mean that was a dive. It wasn't even a secure.
Yeah, that was a solid dive bomb there. I think he's just growing very impatient now.
We'll have to see what the stewards say after the race. It's not our place to judge, of course, but from my
Yeah, of
viewpoint,
course.
as a driver, if I was James Reed in that situation, I'd be absolutely livid, because I was doing absolutely nothing wrong. I was just going about my merry way. Either way, I wouldn't be too happy if I was Davy Laruri's up the road for LSD Racing. He's 10 laps behind, but at the rate Oscar Hardwick's going, I'm not quite sure what to think.
He could be even more laps behind after this.
Get out the way, Davies!
Well, looks like the guy in the Hell Racing team, Hungary, is not the only one living with rage right now. James is living with rage, and looks like this guy, the next one in front of Oscar, might be living with rage if Oscar goes into him. But Oscar might be trying to keep it clean this time.
Oscar can't even keep up with him.
Yeah,
actually, you're right. He couldn't keep up with him.
Or is he waiting? Maybe he's got damage. No, I don't think so.
No, I doubt
Can't be
it.
that bad.
High downforce setting, surely.
Well, Kun, I think he's actually waiting for Kun, because Kun's right behind him.
Yeah, but he is catching at a rate of knots as well. But why? Yeah, if he was going to wait for Kun, why didn't he do it earlier in the lap?
Oh,
hello.
Yeah, he is waiting for Kun. He is waiting for Kun.
This is bizarre. It really is. It's questionable driving. And oh, I thought we had someone joining us then. Apparently not. But
Yeah, we did. It was Bram Hengefeld, and I'm not sure if he wants to say something, but yeah, he's just left.
It's questionable driving. I'm not going to say whether it's, well, obviously it's not good driving to see someone off in, off into the barrier, which isn't even in your class, but it's questionable driving to see that Oscar Hardwick does let Adam Kun through, but almost a lap later
tries to burn him again. Yeah,
it's bizarre.
It's not like they're in the same team, and Oscar gets a message on the radio saying, "Adam is faster than you." Can you confirm you understood that message?
Multi 21, please.
Multi 21, yeah. Well, whatever view on team orders is, these two are certainly not in the same team. But your theory about Oscar Hardwick not having damage, I think it might be a little bit wrong, because he is starting to fall back, hand over fist from Adam Kun at the moment.
That is actually true, yeah.
Although Adam Kun, look at the traffic up ahead, this can only spell carnage as far as I'm concerned. We've got David Larari's up the road, we've got, I think that's, who else is up the road? I think it's, yeah, it is DeHaan indeed. I'm not sure who else that is, but, oh my god.
We've also got an RC.co.uk car in front of him.
Oh my word.
Here we go. Porsche, nice and clean there, good boy.
So, okay, so it's Christian Fesch, that's who. Oscar Hardwick is signed to traverse these guys as well, but Adam Kun is far, far up the road now. Hardwick goes around the outside of Fesch. Fesch very nip and tuck there to keep Oscar... Get your words right, James. Oscar Hardwick on the road, and now he will have to try and traverse the Raries here as well.
Oh,
hopefully.
Please, Oscar, do not do what happened earlier.
I must just say, I've just taken a look at the chat, and there are some people that are not happy with the way Oscar has been driving. Some of the comments directed towards him.
Right, we've got Scott Webber joining us. Right, Scott?
I think his speaker's off.
I see.
I wouldn't blame him. But yeah, let's have a little look. Yeah, a lot of things going on here about Oscar Hardwick. Not happy with him.
That was close.
No! Oh no! They're both touched. They both touched. But though.
But now he's trying to get the toe from Johnson, but he can't keep up with. Look at this. Larry's is just going away from Hardwick.
And Hardwick.
I see Star.
And Hardwick nearly had the same fate as Alexander Vost had at the beginning of the race when he clipped into looks like an invisible wall just next to the pit wall.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
God, he just.
And now look, he's trying to flash Lowry's out the way, but he can't keep. He can't
They're
keep
both
up.
fighting for
No,
position. It's
they're
not a
not.
case of a
They're
blue
not.
flag.
They're not fighting for position, Ron. They are 10 laps apart. But the fact of the matter is I mean, this is very reminiscent to me of the F1 race at the Hockenheim Ring just last year. Where
Oh, that
Lewis
was close.
Hamilton.
And also, he's going to make an overtake, and he has, I think. Yes, he has.
Okay, yeah, no, he's got through. I think Larry's got the message there.
Yeah,
And
but
we
I'm
got Roy Max joining in.
Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hello, Roy. We've been looking at Oscar Hardwick now. I'm not sure whether you've seen much of his antics so far. Well, let's ask you that so far. Have you seen any of Oscar Hardwick's antics in the last few minutes?
No.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there's a lot of debatable driving going on with Oscar Hardwick. He's had about 4 incidents in the last 3 laps. Did you encounter any such problems with any of the faster drivers?
Well, no, not really. Been smooth sailing as far as well, if you look apart from my own mistakes.
I will say this. As a lapped car, the Rory's has the... Oh, God!
Oh, someone's gone off!
Oh, my goodness me!
Oh my god!
That was bad.
Massive!
Right, guys,
It
let's
looks
have a
like he
replay
just
of
lost
that.
it on the outside of that corner and just dropped it into the wall.
Oh, and he is
Unbelievable.
gone. He is gone. Completely total the car there. And he's going to be
Oh, that
waiting
is
a
not
long,
good
long
for
time.
him.
He's gone. He's gone. Left the game.
And of course, I think we are coming up. We've passed 3 hours to go, which means it's past the 70% mark, I think, of this race. And if you go out now, you're out.
So, end of the road for Davy Lareri's there after what was a debatable few laps with Hardwick, in which should he have let him pass, should he not? I'm not so sure. He was keeping to the pace of Hardwick, and you could... I was going back to my example.
Oh, I
what
thought
happened?
Hardwick was going to try and go through there.
Oh, you know, let's keep an eye on Hardwick just forever. This
He's
boy's
definitely
providing,
hassling everyone he comes across.
which he shouldn't do. And oh my goodness, oh, getting very slidey as well there on the exit.
Yeah.
I think that was turn 5. So, oh, he's got Mr. Halgren up the road now. Oh, this. I don't know what to say, but I mean, going back to my example, I need to get this out now. So, Sebastian Vettel fighting for a podium. He has Lewis Hamilton unlap himself because Lewis Hamilton was faster than him. David Lareri's was arguably in a similar situation where he was simply faster than Hardwick, but surely the blue flag rules still have to apply.
They do apply, but if the car behind you cannot keep up, why give the position if you're just going to be hounding him again? You know, and it's not a sensitive case, it's not a sensitive topic, but it is a difficult one. You know, and this is what I was trying to get to earlier. When the Daredevil's car was behind one of the behind the Simco Hungarian team, actually behind Serban. That was actually twice when Matt Richards and Lars Brookman tried to get behind, get around the Simco Hungarian team. Is that if they passed that car, the blue flag rule would just apply again. So, you know, do you unlap yourself if you're like only what 0.2 quicker, or do you just sit behind them? And well, Larry's had that choice, and he should, in my eyes, the blue flag rule applied. He should have sat behind him, because I mean he had nothing to lose, you know.
No. Absolutely true. I've just seen that he's tried to re-enter the game, but he's simply left again. I think that is very much.
I think that is that.
That is LSD Racing out of the race, by the looks of it. Yet another retirement, which is a shame. It's always awful to see people out so close to the end at this stage. You've only got, let's see, you've only got we've got 2 hours 50 minutes to go. Always awful to see these types of accidents happen, but well, there we go. That's the case. But let's look at it on the bright side. It means that Daredevil's Racing moves up a place automatically.
Yeah.
So very positives to Matt Richards in the car there. So I noticed that so No Limit
Larry
still
is
hasn't
back
come back.
in the game.
Oh, is he back in?
Yeah.
He's tried to re-enter again.
Well, the question is,
But now I'm
did
not
he
allowed
try to
because
stop
I'm
the
not sure he's
drive?
allowed to do that.
No, he's left again. I think he's trying desperately to get back into the race, but I don't think he can Because he.
I'm not sure he's
totaled
allowed
the
to, because
car.
he is past the 70% mark.
Well, he is, but when you get in, there is a time penalty from the moment you enter the server. It's 7 minutes or something before you can actually head onto the racetrack. So my
but
guess is that he probably puts the car in gear and try to go, and then get a disconnection from the game because of that.
But I'll have a look to see whether he rejoins again, because if he does rejoin again, I can have a quick look to see whether he does do exactly what Roy says, or whether what Xavier says is true in that he simply can't rejoin because, well, that's his race over. You know, it's past the 70% mark, as you rightly say. So, controversy galore so far. In the hour which I've been here. But, you know, I don't mind a bit of controversy. I mean, the racing, apart from this sort of stuff, has been absolutely brilliant as far as I've seen. And, well, it's only Oscar Hardwick and his little adventures which has really raised eyebrows. Here we go. Okay, so Davey is back in the game. Let me see whether I can't find him. Where is he? Where is Davey? There he is. Right. I'm on board with him now. Right, so he's staying put now for LSD Racing.
I think there are a lot of expletives going on in that car, probably in that little chat.
You don't say. I think Roy, you might be right, because he's not moving now.
Yeah, if you look at the live timing page and you click the team name, you can see what kind of penalties they've got. Now they got a rejoin penalty. Stay in garage for 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 59 seconds. Not yet resolved. So I guess that's probably what he's been trying to do. Just try to drive a bit too early.
Interesting. So LSD still can't come into the race, and oh well, that means that they still could come out ahead of Daredevils at this rate, who are currently 5 laps behind. Well, they'll make for a good race near the end, surely.
That at least Daredevils will have somebody to race on the same lap as them, and a goal to reach, you know. But the Daredevils car should have damage from Ken hitting the wall, remember? And well, if Lawrence has come into the pits and pushed escape, or has just come back into the survey, he'll have a fresh car to work with.
I see that Richards is just passing the pits now, and no doubt
Richards is also, just set the quickest lap again for the Daredevils racing team.
Really?
Oh no, sorry, that was Lars's time. No, never mind.
That was Lars, yeah.
Ah.
So, yeah, I'm sure Matt Richards will know about the situation with LSD at the moment, and he's going to be pushing to his heart's content, presumably, to try and get this gap back down.
And presumably trying to get some cookies as well.
And presumably trying to get some cookies as well. He always works for his cookies, does Matt. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this one. So perhaps you guys can find another battle, but I'll keep an eye on these two.
There's some news from the chat. Jan Enzing has come on and asked if any of the LSD teammates are there, because Davey apparently keeps getting kicked for not resolving his penalty.
Well, that's presumably because, like Roy says, he probably kicks it into gear as opposed to just wait.
But the question I have now is, he's got well, no, I lost him. Let's see, he's got 3 of those rejoin penalties that's not yet resolved.
Yeah, is that
Will
not
they
21
go
minutes?
out all 3 of them at the same time, or does he have to wait for all 3 of them?
That
Who's
would
going to have to
be a
wait
question
21
for
minutes?
Race control. Maybe Marco, if Marco could give us some information on that, or if any of the league admins watching could give us some info on that.
Because then he'll have to wait 21 minutes.
Yeah. And then Daredevils will
Oh,
definitely go
I see Hook tabs off.
No!
I've just been on board with Matt Richards, and he's just gone wide because Hook tab's gone off. But yeah, the SRBN P1 car has been off into the gravel.
But Johnson is now just going past Richards as well. Oh, that was close.
Let's have a look. So yeah, that was the lead P1 car off into the gravel, or was it? Yes, it was, I think. So
Yeah.
no, it was the lead P1 car, Jonathan Dion, currently on lap 239. Hoogturp now on lap 240. You can't be making mistakes like that now, especially with Dion so close behind.
So
Endurance,
with that, is Hoogturp still leading?
Yes, he is. He's still on. Dion is just coming on to lap 240 now. Rene Hoogturp is about halfway through his lap 240 now.
Okay, so just a reminder to everyone that we got about nearly we just got under 10 minutes left on this part, so within 10 minutes get ready to refresh. The current standings in the top 3 of all categories look like this. Hoogturp is still leading in the P1 ahead of Jonathan Dion and Winsneski. In P2 it's Norman Serban ahead of a very controversial Oscar Hardwick and a very controversial Adam Kuhn. That's the top 3 in P2. In GT1 it's Sorry?
Kuhn is a controversial. I think Hardwick's the controversial one there.
Well, Hardwick is actually coming up behind Sturm now, so see if he does anything controversial here.
Yes.
Yeah. So, GT1, the top 3 is Christian Virgin and No Limit Motorsports. Then it is RC Stock.co.uk racing team of Valenti Stolihak. Is that?
Stolihak, yes.
Okay, and then we got Vincent Stahl in the F1 Cast Racing. And finally, the top 3 for GT2 is Wilfried van der Brink in the sim racing for Holland. Then it is Sander van Schreik for the GT2. And finally, we have Gilles de Haan for SRVN.
Bring you up to date with LSD Racing. He has now resolved 2 of those 3 rejoin penalties he's got, so it's 1 left before he can get back onto the road.
Oh, that's not good for him.
So how long does he have to wait now?
Well, it says 6 minutes 59, but that's just because of the penalty. So I'm not really sure how much is left of it.
Well, Daredevils Racing is on lap 216. LSD currently stuck in the pits on lap 218. So the time certainly is getting closed down by Matt Richards, but he's got a number of cars in his way. He's got the likes of Cable in a GT2 car, which he's just traversed, but he's also got Adam Kuhn for Hell Racing Team Hungary, currently P3 in class. And of course, Race League Hoogturp, who's just traversed them as well, so lots of traffic issues for Richards. And of course, Kuhn doesn't have to move over for Richards because he is one of the leading cars.
Now it says that all the penalties for LSD is resolved, so it should be able to rejoin.
We got
so it does.
Lewis coming out. We got Lewis coming out.
Who?
Davey Lurries is coming out.
David Lurries is coming out? Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, indeed, Lurries comes back into the race on lap 200. Oh my!
He nearly caught out
Norbert Serban there. It was Norbert Serban of Simco, Hungarian team there. Almost cut across him. Yes, he almost cut across him there, and that was tight, to put it lightly. But
that was too close to call.
But yeah, it's a shame for Matt Richards here, who's still stuck behind Adam Kuhn, and really can't do anything about it. Oh no, he is! He's going to make a move on Adam Kuhn for P3. There we go. Matt Richards looking faster than the Hell Racing Team Hungary car. There we go.
Right, if you think about it, it's Matt Richards. Ken's already got his stint out the way. So we have Matt Richards and Lars Bruchmann, who today has been the fastest of the 5 drivers. Sam Fuller is also yet to drive, and so is Scott Webber.
Oh,
so,
guys!
And those are all really fast drivers. So I mean, they could still pull something out of the bag.
Look at the rarity.
There goes Matt Richards on Norris.
Matt Richards has just unlapped himself from the rarity, so they are now.
Oh!
They on the same.
And he's going to overtake.
Oh my goodness!
Take 2 cars at once.
That was brave. That was brave.
And look, you got Adam Kuhn as well here, getting on the action. I think there must be a problem with the Rari's car. And in fact, yeah, no, he smashed the wall, didn't he? So, well...
Yeah, but so did
Matt Richards. Yeah, true, but... Oh no, yeah, fair point. But I don't think it's short.
No, now he's got a brand new car. Because, remember, they pushed escape.
What is wrong with his car, then? Matt Richards is off and away. There we go, this is certainly one to watch then. Will Matt Richards be able to pitch up an entire lap?
And we just had a message off the RD chat saying from Jan Wim saying, so you know what to fix for the next race, because he must have heard that. Since you've got a new car, all you have to do is press escape and come back in, and basically you just fix the whole car. No effort at all. But it does take some time.
Well, either he is much slower, or the car is much slower. That is for certain, because Matt Richards passed him with ease.
Yes, he has.
Right then, so, presumably we don't have long now until we switch over to the third and final part of our streamers. Oh no, James Reed! Oh my word, he went onto the grass. Thankfully he's okay though, still going. Oh gosh,
James.
He's lost a
That's
bonnet.
a good boy.
He's lost a bonnet. Oh, poor old James.
He's already lost. He already lost the bonnet anyway.
Yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, no, he had
Fair
lost it long ago. Extra cooling.
Extra cooling, yes. Think about it positively.
On a rear-engine car.
Yeah. I've noticed that Vincent Stahl, he pitted a while back, but he is still in the car, so clearly the F1 Cars racing team don't feel like they need to change their driver just yet in the Lambo. And Matt Richards, let's see, he's just coming on to lap. Yeah, so there he is, David LaRose. Okay, so they're about a straight. No, they're the start finish straight apart from each other pretty much. And who's that in the pit there? I think that's Janssens. Yeah, so Rare Endurance team are in the pits for GT1 in their Corvette. I believe they're currently 5th in class. And just to give you an idea of how fast Pasnicki was over this last stint, as opposed to Janssens, remember those two were locked in battle about an hour or so ago. Well, Brown Pipes are now 2 laps ahead. A huge amount, and I see that Janssens moved and then stopped moving, so I'm not sure whether a driver change failed there.
It looks like
Eon's in the pits
Eon
as well.
is in as well.
For the R-Seat France racing team. The P1 lot, currently on lap 244 of 244 currently. The other man on that lap is Rene Hoogter for SRVN. Had a little bit of a moment on the final turn. Perhaps his rivals here are trying to get the jump on the lead team. Perhaps an early stop will help them here. And just looking back, I see Nieuwenhof as well has pitted for... who's Nieuwenhof with? He's with Sim Racing for Holland, their GT1 team. So we'll have a little eye on all 3 of these cars in the pits to see that we have any further driver changes. So, you know, I don't think they will, perhaps, because we saw that Stahl was going around again. The others will have the same idea that they shouldn't need to pit either.
Okay, so we only got about a couple more minutes on this part. We will go on to the next part in about a couple of minutes time. So just make sure you refresh on the RaceDepartment, and make sure to if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to click the link when available. It will keep on going.
James Reed's off. Sorry, James Reed's off in the wall.
Okay, I'm finished anyway. So let's. Oh yes, James Reed's off.
Oh no! Come on, James.
Come on, James.
Oh my God! He's
just gone straight though.
James did not stall the engine. Come on, there's a good boy. There's a good boy.
You can see the time. Oh, but here.
And he's going to be overtaken by the LDDT of. Who's in the LDT? Bonatier.
Oh, there goes Oscar Hardwick.
Oscar Hardwick's gone past as well.
Yeah, the controversial Oscar Hardwick.
Also, of note, no change for RC France Racing Team in P1. Jonathan Dion still in the car, but we have 2 driver changes. Firstly, for Rare Endurance Team, Richard Blocker now in the car, and in fact he's got Salehak for company there on track, trying to unlap himself, currently 4 laps down. And in fact he does. So he unlaps himself there. I believe he's French, Salehak. I'd imagine with a name like that he is. And Sim Racing for Holland, Marcel Offermans is in the car there for the Sim Racing for Holland team. And so, yeah, if the stream stops for you guys, just to remind you, yep, refresh if you are on Race Department itself. And if you're on YouTube, then I'm afraid you're going to have to get off this video. And basically there will be a part 3 of 3 video stream, which you should be able to have access to once we go live on that. A quick rundown of your top 3 for each class so far. Sim Racing, SRVN, Rennie Hugerterp still in the lead of P1 with Jonathan Dion second and Nikodem Wisniewski for Feeder Sport Poland 2 laps back. Then P2 is led by Simco Hungarian team Norbert Saban. 1 lap back is SRS Racing with Oscar Hardwick, and on the same lap still is Adam Kuhn for Hell Racing Team Hungary. PT1 is still led by No Limit Motorsport Christian Fej. Same lap though is Valentin Salehak now after unlapping himself there. Actually, that's really interesting. Yeah, I thought he was further back. Never mind, Valentin Salehak's actually second in class with F1 Cars Racing's Vincent Stahl in third, and then the GT2 class is currently led by Sim Racing for Holland's Wilfred van der Brink. Second is Brigata also Sander van Scheidt, and third in class is SRVN's Giel de Haan. Now, what was that about we were interested in? We were interested in seeing whether Daredevils be able to catch up to LSD Racing, but I see that they must have had a further pit issue, because LSD Racing are now on lap 221, Daredevils are on lap 216. But that's a shame there to see that they're still that far behind now.
And Matt Rich has just lapped Vincent Stahl there, and he's going to overtake what looks like to be, is it? Yeah, and he's overtaken the RC.co.uk car of Salehak as they go uphill do turns 5 and 6. I didn't notice there are lights out because it's coming up to the twilight conditions as Martin goes down into turn 7. In just going underneath the bridge and into the carousel, turn 8.
Especially Martin here between Hardwick, I think it's Hardwick and Bonetti here actually, so that's P1 and P2. It's always nice to keep an eye on what Hardwick is doing though. But yes, I always like it when we go into these twilight conditions. Always adds an extra challenge to the drivers. And actually, no, it's not. These are 2 P2 cars battling here in Hardwick. Let's see, he is on, well, clearly he's in second first of all, so he's got the lead, he's the lead car. Hardwick on lap 235, Venetier 3 laps behind on lap 232, but looking like the faster driver at the moment is Venetier, and he's been a bit wrong-footed by Hardwick over this last lap. But yeah, always good, always going to be interesting to see what Hardwick will do when Venetier inevitably comes back up onto his rear once again. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you've driven at night, Ron, but I always find that it provides such a harder challenge, because instead of having this overall view of the track as it is, you've only really got the proper view of your headlights in front of you. And also you've got track conditions which change as well, it inevitably gets colder, and it provides a lot of challenges for the drivers who may be used to driving in much nicer conditions, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Well, you'll feel less concentrated when you see in the dark, and you figure out, well, where's this corner, where's the apex and such like that. But though if you race on floodlight circuits, for example Singapore, you'll be fine. It's just that
It's just that your concentration is much more down. Your speed might go a little bit much more down, and basically everything is just a bit muddled up, really.
Yeah, you know, doing a couple of night events myself, some of them are really fun, and some of them take a heck of a lot of focus. I mean, that mini RDMCC 7 event that we did, the minis
Yes.
around the Nordschleife for that 2.4 hours, that was just finishing that was a feat in
we
itself.
just had a Oscar Hardwick.
No!
Yeah,
Oh dear.
and he's going to be overtaken by
Matt